Hello and welcome. You are diving right in with the Fantasy Football Addicts.
Oh,
Don't forget to bring a towel.
We are streaming live on Twitch.
We'll do it live.
it's always going to be a good stream when you start out with Towley.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
You can't go wrong.
Pretty sure.
I am your host, Mike, the Fantasy Addict, joined by co-host Nick, Big Poppy B.
That is me. The name's changed, huh?
And we are ready for some Monday Night Football.
Poppy Likey.
Are you ready for some football?
I'm ready. Bambo.
Bam's
Welcome
ready.
in. He's ready.
Oh, that was my victim this week in the listener league.
Nostalgic. Also a great streamer. Check him out.
All right.
Check him out,
Wish
sure.
you better luck next week, Bam.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
Mike Williams, #1 fan.
I think that's this guy right
I
here.
traded Mike Williams away, so you know who I got?
because you got
Tyreek Hill.
See,
And what a week he had! What a great move!
what are people doing? What are people doing?
So smart, just so smart, right?
Not on them. Not on them.
So I feel pretty good about it.
So tonight's game in the Dome is delayed because of weather?
Well, they're playing at the Chargers, correct?
Yes. Yes,
Is
they
it a
are.
dome?
It is.
Okay,
It is. So
I don't understand.
Maybe it's like one of those where they thought it was going to be nice, so they had the dome open, and then
Yeah,
it's
I don't
not
know.
nice.
I don't know what the close time on the dome is. We need to get NIU to KU in here who had the insight into how they actually at the Raiders stadium take
Move
the
the
grass
turf,
outside so it can get some sun and then roll it back in.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is it dumb that I think Mike Williams is going to have a bad game?
I know he's going to have a bad game.
The Raiders defense, not great, and Mike Williams has been very good. I think that you could probably pencil him in for 15 points. So Mike Williams is going to have a good game.
15.
But the other wide receiver
6
that I need to have points is Keenan Allen. I need Keenan Allen to have 9 points. So if we can get 9 out of Keenan, then Mike Williams can have all the rest. That's fine with me.
Bambo says touchdown or no. The over-under for tonight is 51. That's a pretty high point total.
I'm going to give Mike Williams a touchdown. Yeah, I think he keeps it going today.
I gave it to Keenan. I put a bet on Keenan to have a touchdown.
Why not both?
Cross my fingers. Because I don't like Mike Williams. I need Waller to outscore Mike Williams by 26, but need 10 from Mike somewhere else. So you need 10 from Mike Williams, and then you need 36 from Waller. Unlikely, but who knows? Who knows?
Maybe.
Are there any bonus points for 100 yards or any of that jazz? Because I think that's your only chance. I think that's your only chance of getting 36 out of Mike Dubb. Keenan, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, easy.
This guy gets it.
Piece of cake.
This guy gets it.
Works for me.
Yep. Do you have any matchups this week that are still in
now
flux?
that I think about it, I have one where I think I'm up by 40 points. I think it's Bam, actually. So I need it. I think that's exactly the matchup he's referring to, is if he needs that gigantic game out of Keenan to have a chance against me. I've already counted the win. So.
With the host. Thank you.
Oh, hey.
We did get a couple fouls while we were gone. Earl Gray. I don't know if that we caught that on the stream or not,
I believe we did catch Earl.
and then
in the stream.
Kirby CWL,
All right, Kirby.
which I believe
thanks
is a
for the
wrestling
follow.
streamer and is now in our Discord. So
Oh, I like it.
it's a good place to be.
I'm not anti-wrestling. I haven't followed professional wrestling for a good amount of time. My guys when I was a kid was like Shawn Michaels and Diesel when they had the tag team. Yokozuna I was a big Yokozuna fan. So going back a ways, not the golden age
from the
with
Beatles?
Hulk and Andre. Speaking of Ramondre the Giant,
Man, inactive again.
inactive, a healthy scratch, and it's not.
That's
not ideal.
If there's any saving grace, I mean, James White is out, but he was also the receiving back, which is not necessarily Stevenson's forte.
Ramondre has pretty decent hands. They did throw it to him in the preseason. The thing that
That's not his bread and butter, though.
so I won't go long on Ramondre again. I'm disappointed that he didn't at least get to be active for that game. However, J.J. Taylor, the other rookie who was active, did have a fumble. So if the trend continues, if he's in the doghouse,
Brandon Bolden had 6 catches.
maybe Ramondre gets a chance to get on the field.
Let's see. Bambo says needs 47 from Keenan to beat you.
Yeah, that's too many.
It's plausible.
Let's get him 9.
But unlikely.
How about a solid 9? and
So
then
what about 10? You don't want 10?
10's fine.
10's fine.
Anywhere between 9 and 47. It's a good
It's a
window.
wide gap.
I feel pretty good about it.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, we'll let a couple people filter in before we start our waivers and whatnot. But do you have any matchups still in flux? Do you need
That's the big
just
one.
The one?
So I locked up 2. unless, again, one guy on IDP would have to have a monster game. But for all intents and purposes, I have one game that's still in question, and I need just the 9 from Keenan to get the win. It'll be the league I need to win the most. It's the family league, which I get a 2-year champion in a row, and I have yet to win. So I desperately need this win over my aunt and cousin, who have a co-managed team.
They co-manage a family team?
They have not been impressive in the league in the past couple of years, but they're sticking with it. So they're learning. They're getting better.
I need Josh Jacobs.
Oh, dear.
And my 10-point lead to outscore Jared Cook and Austin Eckler. And then
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
it's not that crazy. It's
No,
not that crazy.
God, please, no, no,
So
no, no.
is Jared Cook going to have more than 10 points today?
Jared Cook?
Unlikely, right?
No, I don't think he's broken the 6 point.
So let's let him in for 10 points. That's the lead I have, right? So it's a wash. So
All
I
right.
need Josh Jacobs to outscore Austin Eckler. That's all it is.
Yeah.
By a half a point. It doesn't matter.
The way that would happen, I would imagine, wouldn't be a lot of yards. I think it would be similar to the last Josh Jacobs game where he just, he's having a medium game. They get on the goal line and he punches in a couple touchdowns. I think that's your formula for success with Josh Jacobs tonight for fantasy.
Gav, welcome in. Took risks in the fantasy this week and lost hard because of it. What risk did you take? I feel like all the risk plays kind of panned out.
I got one I could tell you about, but let's hear what Gav has to say.
If you risked it to start
While he's
Cordero,
typing.
you paid off.
The one I took a chance on was playing against you. I started the Cardinals wide receiver
Christian
Kirk, and Christian had one catch for about 1 point.
Yes, he did.
And did not have the touchdown. And so, although you did not play AJ Green against me, I feel as if I was hurt by AJ Green when he caught the touchdown that could have been Christian
I'm still
Kirk.
about it.
So everybody take a drink. I've been drinking just since that catch.
I've been drinking, celebrating the catch. Tennessee defense and Chuba Hubbard. I don't think those were risks. I think those were
Chuba was kind of
plays.
an educated guess, and
He's
depends
looking
on
at
who you
7 or 8 points.
depends on who you played him over. Chuba had a meh day, didn't get a
Banjo.
touchdown.
That's rough. There's a league where I lost to Khalif Raymond.
Well, you know the
who
problem-
started Khalif Raymond?
You know what Chuba's biggest problem was? It was that Sammy Darnold was rushing in the touchdowns. So.
Sam Darnold, first player in NFL history with 5 rushing and 5 passing touchdowns in the first 4 weeks.
Outrageous.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
I hope that everyone is safe from lightning in that $1 billion dome. No, entire thing completely made out of metal.
Yeah. You think you'd be fine then? Just go all the way around. It's like a Verde cage.
Or
or
just
something.
murder everyone if it hit an all metal stadium.
That's not how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
No, that's not how electricity works.
If you're
Mike.
holding on to metal and lightning hits metal, you'll get shocked.
If it's grounded, you're all right.
No, not.
That's why you can sit in your car and be okay.
No, you can do that because it has rubber tires.
Yeah, but even if you touch metal, but it's grounded. That's my point. Tyreek had 11 catches, 186 yards, and 3 touchdowns. One of them 40 plus, and only managed 44 points. So the Keenan thing may be a little out of reach, but who knows?
I'm almost 100% sure I'm correct on this.
Again, it really if you're not grounded, you're definitely in trouble. If you're grounded, it doesn't matter.
But if metal, let's say you have a metal pole and you're holding onto the pole and your feet are off the ground, and the pole's touching the ground, you'll get electrocuted if lightning hits a pole.
Yes, but not in a stadium.
He's still in the stadium.
No, because
if you were on a rubber seat, maybe.
The stadium is grounded as a
So
whole.
would be the pole. The pole touching the ground means that it is grounded.
It's different. Grounding and being on the ground is different. That's
If
different.
it's touching the ground, it's grounded.
It's different, Mike. It's
All right.
I'll show you afterwards.
I'll have to see.
I'll learn you on it.
All right.
Is Mike Williams giving me 15 points? Says
yeah.
Pluto be killing.
Piece of cake.
No, Mike Williams is droppable. I'd trade him for whatever I could get.
Inflammatory.
No.
Oh,
He's done.
just slanderous.
Mike Williams will be forgotten by week 8.
Well, not today,
words.
though, because he's getting 15
Mark
points.
my words.
He's going to do it. Have
Tyreek
faith.
was my only bright spot this week, and
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz. Both good plays. Both
Tyreek,
good plays.
he was very good.
Greg,
so.
the Bears aren't playing, but
Oh,
we're here for
always
it.
go Bears. That's his official sign on.
I tell you what, I went back and watched that 50-yard pass to Darnell Mooney. I might have watched it like 15 times.
Do we have Darnell Mooney's officially what he ended up with on
He had like
the day?
125 yards receiving on like 7 catches.
So that's the only thing that gives me a tiny flicker of hope for Allen Robinson is maybe Maybe the next time it's Allen Robinson that gets those instead of Mooney. But
So the price on Allen Robinson is
it's
so low right now.
I'm ready to get rid of him.
No, I'd be looking to get him for cheap.
Give me the case for just that they continue to improve with Fields.
The case for is either Dalton comes back or Fields gets a little more comfortable. Fields had the second highest. What was it? The second highest completion yardage in the last under Nagy. I think the only game where the Bears quarterback threw for more yards per attempt was when Trubisky threw 5 or 6 touchdowns against the Falcons 3 years ago.
Gav says, never ever go Bears.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's not a bad strategy. But
he knows. Let's see. Bamo took a shot on Westbrook Keen in my 18-man league, and let's just say,
so that is the wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans with A.J. Brown and Julio out, and it didn't work out. The guy that actually got more of the work still wasn't a monster day for him, but McNichols. So if you like McNichols, go get your McNichols. Yeah.
I'm not getting Jerry McNichols.
No, McNichols doesn't tickle the fancy.
Because they just needed a receiver to come back, and McNichols is relegated to the bench. Nick's kicker rank dude had a bad week. Well,
oh no.
To be fair,
he
missed the 56-yarder at the end of the game, which would have been put him up there
in the rain,
and it was raining.
That's the thing is if you can find out that there's going to be rain in an outdoor stadium and you got a kicker, if you can make that pivot, that's always the right
most
play.
of my matchups were already wrapped up, so I wasn't too upset about it.
Pick the kicker in a dome. Just pick the guy in the dome.
If I had played Corey Davis, I would have been beating Nick, but Nick told me not to. There must be a lesson to be learned.
You don't ask the guy that you're playing against for advice. Come on.
Is that worse, or is it worse that you're losing to a bomb AJ Green game? Because it
hurts.
That's got to be.
It's not what you want.
In my career playing fantasy football,
This is my nightmare.
I don't know if I've been happier than when AJ Green
Nick
scored that
just
touchdown.
had the spontaneous arms straight up in the air.
Well, if you watch that clip, you can see it on my face where
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
I saw it on the screen, as the stat, but sometimes they mix up the names, and the names aren't always accurate right away. So I had to wait to the play, and oh man, it was nice. That's worse. Okay, I thought it might be. Is James Conner worth picking up?
So James Conner is worth rostering. He's not a guy that I want to use, but he's a nice depth piece where if you have a bye week or if your running back goes down and you need a spot start,
right.
There will be games where he punches in touchdowns. I think that's what this game showed us. You can't rely on 18 points from him. If I had played Corey Davis over Jamal Williams against Nick this week, I would have beat him.
So both of you lost because you didn't start Corey Davis?
No, James Conner was the one.
James Conner. Okay.
So, yeah, I think that he's worth having on a team. He's worth holding. If I could trade him after this big game for a different guy, if I could upgrade a wide receiver, if I could use him as a package piece, I might do that. All right, let's see. Gaskin or Kenny Gainwell? I think Gaskin is pure. You can drop Gaskin. He is got a very small percentage of the snaps. Didn't get a lot of rushing work.
I think he only had 2 rush attempts.
Malcolm Brown was the guy they went with over him. Kenny Gainwell at least has shown some flashes of talent. He's always
I think Greg also started Gaskin against me for the 0.3 points.
Oh, that'll kill you.
I think another person in our league started, in our Dynasty League, started Gaskin and the Rams defense and lost points because of that.
No.
Yep.
I played Damian Harris out of desperation because I didn't have another better option, and he was negative for a good chunk of that game, but caught a couple balls to get back into the green. But
Gavin, also, is there any reason to ever find a replacement for Josh Jacobs, or is he doubtful after every game? I'll let you start.
Well, so Josh Jacobs has actually been pretty healthy over his career until this year.
I think he missed one career game before
yeah,
this year.
he'd play through. He plays through stuff because he is pretty tough. He was shooting up his shoulder. That was one of the reasons I was concerned about his health this year, is because I know he was kind of putting his body through it to make the start in those games. Yeah, if he's good to go, I think you can judge a lot from this game. If he comes out and he looks fresh, they feel like he's good enough that he's ready to play.
So here, this is my opinion on what's going on for the Raiders. They saw last year Josh Jacobs get the workload that they wanted to give him, and he got banged up. He was, like you mentioned in the chat, he was kind of doubtful or questionable every week, and I think they didn't want to do that anymore. Kind of like a lot of teams now where they're splitting it. You see it with Zeke and Pollard. You see it with Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I think they look to Kenyon Drake and Peyton Barber to kind of like spell Jacobs a little bit to keep him healthy. He didn't come into the season super healthy. He played the first week, looked good, got 2 touchdowns, and was even banged up in that one. They kept rolling him out there, and I think they learned their lesson. Like, hey, we're just going to give him a couple weeks, let him get right, and we've got a couple guys that we can use until then. So if Josh Jacobs is active, I have no problem starting him. If he's inactive, I mean, you're obviously not putting him
I
there,
think what you've been able to gather from what you've seen from the Raiders right now, it's one of the big concerns that a lot of people had for Josh Jacobs is when they signed Kenyon Drake. And they thought, oh, Kenyon Drake's going to really eat into the carries. And I think that we've seen enough to realize that I don't think Kenyon Drake's going to be taking away too much of the opportunity from Josh Jacobs when he is healthy.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement. But I'm still a Josh Jacobs truther. I think he's still going to finish the season okay. And honestly, if he doesn't do well in this game, I think the buy low period is open.
Yeah,
even if he does, I think you may look to go buy him.
So let's
anyway.
play the opposite kind of side of this. You like Josh Jacobs.
For sure.
Who would be a player that you would try if you were trying to acquire Josh Jacobs that you would try to trade to get him?
Mike Williams.
Oh, that's outrageous. It's just unbelievable.
Is it though?
It is.
So where do you think Mike Williams finishes this season? Like wide receiver, what?
I think he finishes in the top 14 wide receivers. So I'll give him like wide receiver 14, and I think that's fairly conservative.
Where do you think Josh Jacobs finishes the season?
Running back wise, you have to take into account that he's missed the game, so that's going to hold him down on his actual where he
From
ends
here
up.
to the rest of the season.
From here to the end, if he's healthy, he could be in that running back, maybe even similar to 14 to 16 area.
I still think running back 14 to 16 is more valuable than wide receiver 14. That's my opinion, especially with, I mean, people are starting Cordell Patterson. People are starting Latavius Murray now. I mean, it's crazy out there. I mean,
built into that proposal, though, is that Josh Jacobs, the caveat of he has to stay healthy, which 100%. I think is one of the big concerns.
So does Mike Williams, though. I mean, that's a concern as well.
Again, we talked about Mike Williams' average depth of target has come down, so he's not flying through the air going for a 40-yard bomb every time now, which I think, not to say that won't happen, though. They could throw him a 60-yard pass, and he dives, and he falls on his neck, and he's broken in half. Like,
my only thing, too, is like the Raiders' offense has actually looked pretty solid. The last 2 games,
they're winning games.
Peyton Barber rushed for over 100 yards last week against Miami. I don't know.
That was interesting. That's another, like, that gives you some hope for Josh Jacobs coming back.
Sure.
If Peyton Old Man Barber can do it.
Yeah.
But he's got fresh legs because he wasn't playing very much.
So does Josh Jacobs. Because he hasn't played for
broken foot, but fresh legs.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I need a good day from Josh Jacobs today.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, would you trade Clyde for Josh Jacobs right now? Because I know there's people that are kind of feeling like maybe we could do the sell high on Clyde.
Here's the thing with Clyde. If you can make, I think it's a lateral move probably to get Josh Jacobs. Maybe Josh Jacobs has a little more upside, just my personal opinion. I'd be looking to trade CH away if I can get a running back, just because I just don't trust him for the long haul.
I think Clyde has given you enough from the last 2 games that like you kind of have to play him, but I still think there will be those down games. I think you're going to get games that are decent like the last games that he had the last 2, and I think you're going to get a couple games that are like his first couple games. So it's going to be I wouldn't even call it boom bust, but it's going to be happy sad with Clyde. And some weeks he'll be happy, some he'll be sad.
So Chase Edmonds is solidified RB2.
Chase Edmonds is getting involved. He actually had a pretty big run that helped boost his numbers, but one of your concerns with Edmonds is just if James Conner is going to be punching in the touchdowns, it really caps his ceiling there a little bit. The curious question is if one or the other goes down, then how much does it help the other guy? And I think fairly significantly. James Conner, I think, rushed for around 50 yards, had 2 receptions in that game. Chase Edmonds, they're using him in the passing game.
Here's the biggest difference, though. The biggest difference this year to last year is Arizona's won all their games,
Yeah.
So they've been able to...
Their offense is cooking.
For sure. But they've been able to kind of run and burn clock in the second half or last quarter of games, and I think that's really kind of solidified Chase Edmonds' workload,
I think it's brought Chase Edmonds' workload down because he's more the come-from-behind guy when they're running and gunning a little bit, I think. I think it helps Conner a little bit more.
Either way, honestly, if Arizona keeps cooking like they are, Chase Edmonds, I think, has 4 back-to-back, double-digit weeks. So,
I think
you can start him for sure. And I hate the Arizona Cardinals backfield.
Like a low-end RB2.
I don't want James Conner at all, even though he's been, somewhat solid with the touchdowns.
Yeah. The problem is just James Conner. The weeks that he doesn't get the touchdown, he can kill you, but it's a risk
for sure.
Like if I was down, 30 points and I was going into the last game and I had both guys, I would play James Conner over Chase Edmonds. If I needed 10, I'd play Chase.
Am I spelling Connor wrong?
But that's a question that sometimes in the Discord when people are asking me who to start, that's the question I'll ask Basket. Do you need 10 points or do you need 30 points?
Yeah, well, you see it here. Connor, 5 points, 2.5 points, 18, 19. I mean,
yep. And you know what the difference is? He had 0 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. So
interestingly enough, he got 18 carries this game and 2 touchdowns. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. 2 touchdowns back-to-back weeks.
And they've got San Francisco and Cleveland coming up. San Francisco's defense,
been a little
their
soft
secondary
lately.
is not good, but their defensive line is still decent. Cleveland has been very tough. I think Cleveland is at the beginning of the year when everybody looks at the matchup and they'll have red or green of what the defense that they're playing against.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean much the first couple games because there's outliers. A good example is the Seahawks. They had given up the number 1 most points to the running back, but that was because they ran into Derrick Henry, who had a monster game. So as the year goes on, those become a little bit more accurate. And a defense that I would actually consider sitting players against is the Cleveland Browns. I think their defense is legit, and I am trying to avoid that matchup.
Passing and running.
Yes, the whole thing.
Yep.
I've got one of their defensive backs as my IDP player who's a talented guy, but they've just been shutting teams down so that
So one of my things this week, and we talked about it just before the show went live, is we see two dynamics going on here with the Chargers and the Washington football team. Washington football team running against them, you're running into a wall. There's no point. But throwing against them, it's wide open. Wide open. Not scary to start your quarterback, whoever against them. And the opposite, the Chargers, their secondary is locked down. They played the Cowboys and the Chiefs, played them both close, kept them low. I think they're the third toughest defense against the pass, even playing those. But against the run, I mean, they gave up 200 yards rushing to
so
Zeke
Washington
and
is like that. The 49ers are like that.
Yep.
And we just saw a couple of defensive backs go out in the Patriots game. So I think the Patriots are going to be similar where
Honestly,
you don't want to start your running back, but you can start your passing
on the less crazy side, the Bears are kind of the same way. Running, it's going to be tough, but the secondary for the Bears is
the secondary,
not scary.
they're getting it together a little bit. They're not the worst, not the best. They had a bad game against the Rams. Next question. So we got asking about star running back for the Chicago Bears, David Montgomery, goes out with a knee injury. The reports that I have heard, it sounds like a hyperextended knee, but did not tear any ligaments, no severe damage. He'll probably miss at least a week, maybe 2-3 weeks, but he should return for the end of the season. So if you got him, you're happy that he's not, just full out. As a Bears fan, we're excited that he's coming back. Nick doesn't like him, but I like him.
Is that Tariq Cohen music?
No.
Cohen sucks.
There's the Cohen music.
So we play the Raiders, the Packers, the Buccaneers the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think Darrell Williams is a decent pickup if you need a running back.
Darrell or Damian? Which one is it?
Damian, pardon me. Damian Williams, Chicago Bear.
D. Williams, either way.
And then if you're really crazy, Khalil Herbert is just the rookie running back that they have. A couple people liked him going into the drafting process. I wouldn't pick him up right now and throw him on the roster unless you have, let's say you have a guy that just in this game, gets hurt or something. But
I'd spend probably, I don't know, like 5 to 10% of my fab on Williams. Not a ton.
I think that's fair if you need him.
If I'm 0-4 and I'm desperate for running back, then yeah, I'm okay with spending 20-30%. But I'm not going hard after Damian Williams unless I'm absolutely desperate.
I feel similarly.
Banjo, Tampa D is pretty good. Tampa run D, for sure. Their run D is pretty good. And, again, they started Richard Sherman because they didn't have a choice. So that secondary is not great. And, honestly, Mac Jones looked pretty good last night against that secondary. So, sports lover,
did I
welcome
misspeak
back.
when I was saying the secondary? I meant the Tampa Bay. I think I said Patriots, so sorry about that. Point of clarification.
Gotcha.
How
do you think Austin Eckler will do as a sports lover? I'm glad that he's back to getting targets.
Makes
week
a
one
big
he
difference.
got no targets, some weird stat like that.
He has a decent game.
Yeah, no, I think he'll be fine.
Double digits.
I like Eckler. I just need him to do worse than Josh Jacobs. That's it.
Well,
It can be 2019.
I wouldn't make that bet.
It can be 30-25. I don't know.
It's going to be tough for Eckler to score with Mike Williams just getting all of the points.
No. That's Keenan.
That's what Nick's rooting
That's
for. I'll
Keenan.
take Keenan. We can get Keenan going.
I did bet on
9.
I got money on Keenan Allen touchdown, anytime touchdown. I got Josh Jacobs' first touchdown scorer of the game. I've got the under of, I think it's 51.5 points. So I feel like that's a lot of points for this game to go into.
All right.
We'll see. And I think that's it. I think that's my only bets.
Yeah, Derek Carr, I think, popped up for just a hot second with having a little bit of an ankle injury. So we'll see if that lingers tonight or not.
Fade all Broncos wide receivers if Teddy's out, says Banjo. I don't know that there's much of a drop-off.
Drew Lock was the starting quarterback for that team. He's been in the system. Like, he's nobody's favorite. He's not a guy you like to have throwing the ball, but there's worse backup situations.
Sure. When Sutton had his good season, it was with Drew Lock.
There you go. That's a good argument.
Noah Fant loves Drew Lock, and Drew Lock loves him. So I think you every week start Noah, and you can start Sutton still in your funds.
Right. So sports lover wants to know, though, how will Austin Eckler? I'll say 14 points. Give a prediction.
14. I like that number. I'd say Austin Eckler. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'll go 17.
So to answer the Broncos question more thoroughly, I think you can keep going with Courtland Sutton. I might fade Tim Patrick, though, who I already have been fading. He had, I think, 5 points or something in that game.
Last year, similar situation with Sutton out and Judy there, and Tim Patrick was still usable. So I'm not dropping Tim Patrick, but I don't know if I'm rolling him out next week. But again, you could do worse. What are the Broncos playing? Let's see here.
Oh, and we got, who showed up? Kadarius Toney played football with 10.9 points in BAM.
Great success.
All right, the Kadarius breakout, it's happening. We had to wait a little while. But
so the Broncos play the Steelers, Raiders, then Browns. So that's a pretty tough sled, at least against the Browns for sure. I think the Raiders are playing tough defense as well. Steelers, are you scared of the Steelers defense anymore?
Not as much as I was pre-season, but
scared of Watt, and that's about it, right?
Yeah, it helps that Watt came back.
I had Watt on my bench with 18 points.
They're not just murdering people.
Why isn't this game started yet? Because they had a lightning situation. And to answer your question, it isn't a dome. Yes, I don't understand it either. We've been talking through the audio, so I haven't really gotten the full story, I don't think. But for some reason,
it is the Chargers. It's electric. So yep.
Is that a new one?
That is the Chargers drop I had added when we did the NFL draft. And if you were waiting for the Vegas drop.
Need help calling the right play on game day? Call me at the Gruden Hotline. Gruden Hotline.
Hey, Gruden, let's get this game going, buddy. He's out there just scowling like, hey, we're in a dome. Let's go. He's saying what we're all thinking, which kind of, Gruden does sometimes.
Why? Banjo's got the bolts in the chat.
All right. Nice. Carr has his eye makeup on. He's ready to go.
Before they get started here, let's start discussing some other.
Does Carr wear eyeliner
he
all the time?
He doesn't dye his hair
dark
either.
Eyeliner and black hair.
His hair is just that dark.
Just listening to the Clash,
Baby Belichick has some looks.
Oh yeah, man, with the mullet and the tongue out.
It was something. It's Joe Dirt in it for sure.
I don't know. If you want to rock a mullet, rock a mullet. That's where I'm at. But it's not a great look.
I wouldn't do it.
It doesn't inspire confidence.
Again, I think there's the right place and time for a mullet, especially a nice mullet. That was not the right place or time, and it was not a nice mullet. I mean,
you guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
All right.
it was too disheveled. I mean, you got to have a little more style to it. Running back predictions for Bills versus Chiefs.
I have not added the more drop yet. It's coming though. He's not in this game, so
more. Bills versus Chiefs running back predictions. I think Josh Allen will be a great running back for that game, and I think CEH will be disappointing.
Yeah, the Bills' defense has been tough. They've been blowing really people out. It is it's impressive.
It was the Texans though, and I think another soft game. So
for fantasy, one of the interesting things is just with these blowouts, not the Diggs giant games yet. So I am trying to trade for him. I offered
to go over 100.
In one of my leagues, I offered Allen Robinson and Michael Thomas was the offer that I sent out trying to get Diggs after still not having
Derek Carr with a little bit longer hair makes him look like a crazy person.
Yeah, a little werewolf-esque.
I'm more on the crazy person train when he kind of looks like Marv from Home Alone. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Marv.
I think Josh Allen will be fine. Moss, I don't know. I'm not super interested in Moss. Kirkers, I know.
I can't
We need the buzz.
I can't unsee it.
We need the buzz cut back.
Oh, man.
Are you running out to pick up Dalton Schultz this week? I think he had 58 yards, a touchdown, or two touchdowns.
I did add Dalton Schultz and
one touchdown, 6 catches, 58 yards.
Blake Jarwin had a touchdown.
Back-to-back weeks with touchdowns for
if Blake Jarwin
Schultz.
were to miss time again, I might actually go pretty heavy on Dalton Schultz. But with Jarwin there, I think it holds him down a little.
Jameson Crowder, 9 targets, 7 catches, 61 yards, and a tutty.
My desperation start of the week, I called it. But
that was pretty good.
Yeah, Crowder in the slot. No, he's experienced. Crowder actually last year had some decent games where he was getting a lot of targets before he got injured for a while.
I dropped him last week for A.J. Green, though. So, I mean, who's next on the list here? You're running out to pick up A.J. Green.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Hear me out.
God.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
No, God, please, no. No.
6 targets.
No. No.
6 targets in every game, exactly. The last 3 weeks, 12 points, 14.5, 16.
You are fake news.
Outrageous.
Went over 101, a touchdown in each of the others.
Age 33, A.J. Green.
Man.
Oh, no.
You could do worse, but yes, I probably wouldn't be rushing to pick him up. Dawson Knox,
just because you've already got him everywhere.
That's true. Dawson Knox, touchdown, and 2 touchdowns. Last 3 games, 3 targets, 5 targets, 8 targets in the last 3. You could do worse. You could do worse than Dawson Knox. I'm not paying a bunch for him, but if you...
Are you starting Knox over Pitts?
I'm not still.
Are you starting Knox over, it's the Packers tight end?
Tanyan?
Tanyan.
I'm probably starting him over Tanyan at this point.
I think I'm still starting Tanyan. I would start Knox over Schultz.
We had a question, Knox or Mark Andrews.
Which start Mark Andrews.
It sounds crazy, but
stick with the
again,
Andrews.
Last 2 weeks, 13 points, 18 points. And again, the Bills did score a lot of points. So, and they were playing the Texans. I'm not reading too far into that, but Dawson Knox's red zone targets have been going
finally
way up.
saw a little dent in the armor. Cooper Kupp. Kupp was getting bullied by Byron Murphy, and he finally has
he is who he thought
under
he was.
10 points game.
And Robert Woods catches a touchdown.
Robert Woods does catch a touchdown. I'm not gonna.
Is this
I'm out
Robert
on
Woods sell week?
I'm done on Robert Woods. If I could sell him, I would on the name and the touchdown. The targets just aren't going there. He's not getting the targets that he needs to have to be Robert Woods.
Marcy, you're a crazy person. Flexing Knox next week in the listener league.
All right. Oh, hope you're playing Mets.
Bold move. Bold move.
So you saw that Mets? I think he's going to win. He started 3 tight ends, and 1 tight end he started in the tight end slot was inactive. What? He just makes a mockery of all the hard work and time and effort we put in, and he's starting 3 tight ends and 1's inactive, and he wins. Outrageous.
We only have one thing to do.
Oh my gosh!
All I can do is clap.
All
I can do is clap. I mean, it's impressive. I don't know if I've seen a much more impressive win than that.
It's outrageous.
So yeah, Jameson Crowder, I'd spend a little bit of fab on, but I'm not gonna go balls of the wall on him, especially with Moore coming back, Elijah Moore coming back for their offense. Dawson Knox, I'd spend a little bit of fab on. If you're desperate at tight end, you could definitely do worse than Dawson Knox. He's 50% owned, it looks like. Alex Collins. Chris Carson did not look good. Alex Collins, 10 carries, 44 yards, and a touchdown with two catches as well.
Yeah, that is very
34.
concerning, him getting the touchdown. I saw that with Chris Carson. I didn't hear in-game of any injury or anything. I don't know if they're just trying to keep him fresh.
They're just spelling him, yeah.
Interesting. But you don't like that if you're the Chris Carson owner. I was actually going against Carson, and it was very happy to see Alex Collins' touchdown.
Marcy, if Mets wins the league, I'm done with this stream.
We got to start watching his stream.
Exactly.
And it's just him getting drunk, sniffing glue, and throwing darts. Like, just had a big board.
3 tight ends. Okay.
I like it.
We'll just send them out there. Fine. Sports over. Do you think I should get rid of Emmanuel Sanders?
If you can trade Emmanuel Sanders for something good. Like,
this thing, he's not droppable, and he's almost not tradable either. So I don't want him on my roster. I'd rather somebody else have to roster him.
A guy that I think is a trade target this week is Marvin Jones. I talked about Marvin Jones a lot last week. He let you down, but that's why you can buy him. He had a bad game, but in that game, DJ Shark went out with a broken ankle. He's going to miss time, and it opens up targets and opportunity for Marvin Jones, who's already doing pretty well until this last game. So I think that Marvin Jones is a real nice target right now. If you're looking for a solid wide receiver 3 that you can play most weeks. Michael Pittman Jr. is still getting a lot of targets.
Do you think Shenault gets a boost? I saw somebody asking, said Shenault was on waivers.
Laviska maybe bumps up into that group of kind of the can starts with like the Michael Pittman, with maybe a Marvin Jones. I don't know if I would rather Marvin Jones than Laviska, but I think that In a PPR, I think you could do worse than Laviska.
So Mixon a little banged up. Samaje Perine on the pickup list here. I mean, not much in this game, but against Green Bay, Detroit next. If Mixon misses time, you in on Samaje?
Yeah,
Perine.
I would almost be more in
right.
on Samaje than Williams, I think.
Okay, I think that's fair. Really, more than Williams.
The only reason not is because I think that Montgomery's injury might be a little bit more severe than Mixon. But I've heard some negative takes on Mixon, and we know how Mixon likes to say that he's going to miss a game and then miss 19
We have another
games.
Bengals question here. Bambo, think about selling Boyd before Higgins returns.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's any guarantee Higgins returns.
I have seen reports that
I did see that
are more positive than what you had read on Reddit. So I think that it's possible Higgins plays next week. If I could trade Boyd off the big week,
Boyd for Marvin Jones?
I would much rather have Marvin Jones than Tyler Boyd.
Yep. Or package something together, for sure.
If you get Brandon Cooks after a tough game, they do have a tough slate of games coming up, but I think that he has I think that game was his floor. And if you were playing in PPR, I still think he had like 11. If you're playing half PPR, he had like 7 or 8. People are still kind of, got that idea that the Texans are terrible, but the person who has Cooks, the thing is they probably are one of the people that likes him. And
all right, so Marvin Jones plays the Titans, who just lost to the Jets. The Dolphins,
that's a good matchup.
The Dolphins, who have been awful lately.
Dolphins have
and the
been great.
Seahawks next. So not a too bad of a stretch there for wide receivers.
It's a nice stretch.
The game has finally started, and Keenan Allen starts the game.
Gets it going.
You only need 46 more points to have a chance, Bambo. Think about packaging Boyd and something else for Deontay. Yeah, whatever you can package for Deontay is a good bet. I think I saw it was
Deontay had 1 million targets.
39 targets and no drops yet for Deontay this year, which is pretty wild. Yep.
I was watching a little bit of the Steelers game, and he was getting all the targets. Juju did miss one. It was a little bit overthrown by Ben. He would have had a touchdown. Would have changed how you felt about him that week, but Juju had a bad week. Did have the rib injury, so that might have played into it a little bit. But Deontay, he's the first read. He's the guy Ben's throwing it to.
Eckler gets a nice little rush here, gets the first down.
All right.
Wide open.
Herbert with a solid fake. Statuesque.
So Cordero Patterson's owned in 73% of leagues, so it's mostly owned. But in those other 27% of leagues, are you spending all your fab on Cordero?
I don't think Cordero's going to have as big a games as he did this past week.
I think it'd be hard to recreate.
If you need a running back.
3-touchdown week, yes.
So where'd Mike Davis go in like the 5th round of drafts? I think it should have been Cordero. So if you're looking at like a 5th round running back kind of pick, Mike Davis did still get into that game, get a little bit of work.
Cordero or Kareem Hunt rest of the season?
I'd rather have Kareem Hunt than Cordero.
I think that's interesting. Give me some other comps that you'd rather have Cordero over.
I'd rather have Clyde Edwards-Helaire than Cordero.
Oh, for sure. I think that's an easy one. Chris Carson or Cordero?
I'd rather have Chris Carson.
I don't like Chris Carson.
Yeah.
He's a bum.
That's all right.
Cordero or
Josh Jacobs. I'd probably take
James
Josh
Conner.
Jacobs over Cordero.
Or Chase Edmonds.
I'd take Cordero over either of those guys.
I think I would as well.
I take him over the Buffalo running backs.
Moss and Single. Yep. I would as well. And I think the list probably continues. Would you rather have Cordero or Trey Sermon? Trey Sermon, 19 carries and like 90 yards.
Yeah,
so
no, Elijah Mitchell come back, and I think he's going to take it away from Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon wasn't awesome.
Yeah. He was a lot better in this game. He was very efficient. Mellow Husky, welcome in. Hello.
Hey, is it an NIU Husky? Huh?
I don't think so.
Go Huskies.
It's different Husky.
All right.
And
speaking of Deontay, someone offered
either.
me Thielen and Deontay for A.J. Brown. I personally have always kind of been out on A.J. Brown a little bit, but I think value-wise,
with the injury to A.J. Brown, I think Thielen and Deontay is not a bad value for compensation.
I'd take it.
I'd probably take it. If you're like a contender and you can afford to wait and it's like a 8 or 10 team league, I think you can probably wait, but I like Deontay this year. Even though Roethlisberger looks brutal.
Looks old.
He doesn't look good. All right. Jared Cook, don't like that. Stop doing that.
Thought you wanted some Cook points.
Username is after my dog I used to have.
Oh,
gotcha.
All right. What?
Whenever I see Mellow, I think Mellow Yellow. Love Mellow Yellow.
The drink?
Delicious.
I don't think I've ever had it.
What? It's basically Mountain Dew, but it's nothing like
that.
It
was my college mascot, the Huskies.
There you go. What about Cordero or Fournette? I think that's a great question.
I'd take Cordero over Fournette. Ronald Jones got in. The one time they let him touch the ball, he gets a touchdown. Devastating season for Ronald Jones.
He had 6 carries.
Awful. Just Ronald Jones, I've dropped everywhere. It hurts my heart because I think he is a good running back when they give him the chance, but he makes dumb mistakes and he gets benched and he's never going to play. So
you know what? I'm going alternate. I'm going Leonard Fournette. 20 carries, 91 yards, 3 catches for 47, and he lost the touchdown. I don't trust Cordell Patterson to do it all year. And the Bucs get to play in Miami, Philly, Chicago, New Orleans. Not really scared of too many of those rushing defenses.
Just any given time, though, Leonard could get the touchdown taken by Rojo.
Man, Eckler moving.
Arians gets mad at his running backs and benches them, so I don't know.
True. If Fournette fumbles one ball, he's pretty much back on the bench, and then it's
Rojo until he fumbles.
Exactly. What if they both fumble in the same game?
Then they just keep switching them. It's awful. But Gio Bernard is currently out. He was out in that last game, so that also could have been part of the reason that maybe Lenny's number is a little boosted.
Eckler a little banged up.
But they'll play Gio Bernard when Gio Bernard is healthy, and that hurts everybody.
For sure. All right. Justin Jackson gets the first touch afterwards. Sports Lover, I have tonight's game going to overtime. What's your final call? I think the over-under was 51 points. I took the under. I think, I don't know. I just don't see that much scoring in this one.
Austin Eckler walking gingerly on the sideline, so that's always one of the concerns with Austin Eckler. If they want to make him a workhorse back, but he doesn't have the build for it.
Okay, Sports Lover, these are the questions, Cordero or Eckler?
Well, now that Eckler's hurt.
No,
a healthy Eckler versus Cordero, I take all day, every day, 100%.
Yeah, for me too. Again, Cordero had some good performances, but I'm taking Eckler by quite a margin.
I think that Cordero's giant game is a bit of an outlier. I don't think he's going to have.
But again,
that type
I'm
of
okay with the last few weeks from Cordero.
Yeah.
Let's see here, just because of the amount of receptions he's had. Week 1, 2 targets. Then week 3, 4, 5, 7, 7, 6 targets.
Decent.
58 yards receiving, 82 yards receiving. That's great. And points, 21 points, 13 points, 33. Even the floor week 1 of 7 carries for 54 yards and the 2 catches, still at almost 8 points. Like, if you're an 8-point floor for a running back, I'm almost pretty okay with that.
Almost okay.
I'm almost pretty okay with it.
And Justin Jackson, going in now that Eckler's out, so maybe people start glancing at him on their waiver wire. The thing about Justin Jackson is he's got a little bit of juice when he plays, but he's hurt all the time as well.
Not a problem, fanboy. Welcome in. What are your thoughts on the Broncos versus Ravens game? It played out kind of similar to how I thought, except I thought the Broncos would score a little bit.
The biggest note in that was the Teddy Bridgewater injury, because that just changes how you look at the wide receivers a little bit.
Or was it Fangio being pissed off at the Ravens for rushing on the last play to get the record? Did you see this?
Did they get it? I didn't.
They did.
Okay.
They with 3 seconds left, they ran it. After an interception to get 3 yards and the 100-yard rushing total.
I get it. I think that's fine. I get both sides. I get Fangio being upset about it, and I get them going for it and getting it. I'm okay with both sides.
Why can't the Broncos just be like, okay, you need 3 yards for a record? Like,
it cheapens the record a little bit, a tiny bit, but
it happens all the time.
They're trying to keep the streak alive. That's the kind of thing that, like, some people say doesn't matter at all, but it does motivate players a little bit. You want to be a part of those teams that, can kind of be a part of history a little bit.
Abram just leveled this dude. Absolutely leveled the dude.
Nice pop, Abram.
But the Ravens game, the run defense, I think if anything, we learned that the Broncos defense is legit.
I believed in the Broncos defense.
For sure.
I've talked about it. I think they spent the most money on the defensive side of the ball of any team. So,
Hollywood Brown, how are you feeling about Hollywood?
He had a real nice catch. I still don't like to play Hollywood, but he's had some nice games.
So Hollywood Brown, 16.5, 22, 7, and then 18. And that 7-point week, he had 2 touchdowns that he dropped. I think Hollywood Brown, if you're desperate, you could do definitely a lot worse. Okay, that's Parham.
All right, Parham in my best ball team. So
just as we expected.
I think I held on to
Parham with the touchdown.
I might have dropped. I don't know.
Oh, man. Keenan was there. I know. I saw him.
My best ball team. It's not good.
Could have used it.
Would have liked the Keenan.
I had the Josh Jacobs first touchdown. That did not come to fruition. Did not. Let's see here. Raiders win by a field goal in overtime. sports logo.
Nah, I'll say the Raiders lose this one. I've been betting against them and they've been winning, but I'll keep betting against them.
The water boy.
Whatever.
Ain't no guess. It's what it's going to be.
No, I have no idea how this game's going to play
Bear
out.
fan Paul Parham? Yes, Parham. I just dropped him last week. Everybody I drop kind of goes off. Just pick up whoever I drop.
Parham is a rookie that the Chargers took in the NFL draft that everyone pretty much agreed that he reached for.
No,
right?
that's Josh Palmer.
Oh, I keep thinking that
that's
Parham,
a wide receiver.
Parham,
Josh
the tight
Palmer.
end. Is he also a rookie?
No, Parham was on the team last year.
All right. Pardon me. So Josh Palmer is the one I was thinking.
Yes, Josh Palmer we haven't seen much of yet.
I keep doing that.
It's okay.
Wrong.
What are your thoughts on Harrison Bryant?
Never heard of him.
Hollywood Brown, I hate having him on my team. I hate him on my team.
Yeah, I don't want
He's got
him.
hands of stone. You watch him, and
That's a
you
great
feel
catch.
awful. You feel awful about it, and then he does that, and you feel stupid that put him on your bench.
The
He's
Ravens have
frustrating.
been throwing it more because of their complete
have.
lack of running backs.
They have.
Let's talk about this guy. Tyson Williams, a healthy scratch, and drop him. I dropped him, and it's
Again,
over.
I said it week
You did.
one we played.
I want to give him one more game to see what he had, and I don't know why they hate Tyson. He feels like the freshest set of legs on that team, but it must not be good. Again, the pass block things, some of those other little things
But again,
that don't
it's
affect
the
fantasy.
same reason
as
I
much.
don't like Cordero Patterson, and he's still here. So it's hard. It is hard, but again, the third and fourth string running backs just don't pan out unless you're on the 49ers, and that's the only place. Otherwise, nothing. Isaac from Discord is alert. Give him a shout out. Welcome in, Isaac.
Happy to have you, Isaac.
We need our resident Lions fan in here
All
for
right.
sure.
Yep.
I'm
We're
unreasonably
here for
excited
you.
for Bateman. I think that's a good call too from Banjo. Bateman wasn't in this game.
It's good to bring out Bateman when you're talking about Hollywood because it might take some of those targets away from him and give another wide receiving option to Lamar.
Yep. So he was not activated off of IR.
No, but he did
I think
practice
he did practice,
this
right?
week,
Yeah.
yeah.
So no, I'm definitely interested in seeing what Bateman can do.
Wouldn't
when he gets
surprise me if we see him next week.
Qualix. Welcome in.
If there's somebody
Gotcha.
in
So that's Isaac.
in our dynasty league, the guy that has Bateman is a fan and drafted him fairly highly. But if you got a league and somebody doesn't know exactly who Bateman is, they're sick of having him on the bench.
Dynasty.
Maybe make a play and try and get Bateman before he comes back. If
You
you
could try
get
and
him.
troll your league, trade away Hollywood
I
Brown.
would give
and
a
pick up
high
Bateman.
second for Bateman right now, sight unseen, coming off the injury, like easy.
You mean in dynasty?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's fine.
probably give a late first for him.
I mean, he's only missed 4 games in his entire career. I mean, he's got his whole. He was drafted as a first round pick.
A young man.
I think he would still be a first round pick. So is Kelsey and Tyreek like DK and Lockett? One goes off, the other one sucks.
No, they can both have monster games because that offense is super high powered.
This is the Kelsey trade for week.
We've seen
This is the trade for Kelsey on the down week. Whatever you can get.
it won't work. Some of those guys with the names that are too big, you can't get them.
So Mike Williams, Cordero Patterson, and
Yeah. If you can just trade,
somebody
both
else,
those guys
Tyler
for-
Boyd.
That's a
for-
great
for-
package.
Yeah,
Here's
I'd
the
be
thing.
making that move.
Yeah, I think that we've seen enough times where Kelsey and Tyreek both get touchdowns that you don't have to worry
Yeah,
about
like the first 3 weeks. Actually, that's not true. Tyreek Hill did have 2 not very good weeks.
Yep,
but
the last 2.
They've-
And
again,
then I
Kansas
traded
City's
for
played a
him,
couple tough
and
teams.
then he went ham.
Excellent.
He did. He did go ham. That is true. Are we worried about DK and Lockett at all? I mean, I think Lockett was down in this one. and
DK had a decent game. I've been saying sell Lockett this whole time. I think that Lockett's going to have a stretch.
Lockett 5 points, 4 points.
Going to have a stretch of down games coming up. They're playing the Rams, then Pittsburgh. Who again? Pittsburgh, they're not great, but they're still pretty good defense. And then I think the Saints. So tough matchups. Part of why I wanted to buy DK was I thought that the Lockett drop was coming, and here we go. Another guy that we've heard some questions about whether you want to sell or not is Russell Wilson, and the matchups are getting tougher. Russell's look good, but yeah, I would probably be trying
Wilson
to move
hasn't been
Russell.
on the tear he was last year, but still 39 points, 33, 23, 29.
Yep.
So still solid, but
He's
again,
been good enough you can trade him away for something useful.
if you want to trade him, this would be the week because he plays the Rams. Again, Arizona just put some points up on him, but you got the Rams, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, Jacksonville, a bye. But let's see the playoff schedule. Rams, Chicago, Detroit, Arizona. I think
the Detroit,
in Houston,
Arizona, yeah,
I'm
but
holding Russell
Arizona
Wilson.
is after the playoffs, so Detroit maybe for that final game against Detroit, but the trade deadline will be passed by then. I'm trying to get rid of Russell, but I don't like Russell.
That's true. You've always been a Russell
Just
denier.
The most punchable face.
I wanted him on the Bears team.
Now Daniel Jones is just slowly overtaking him for the most.
Should we talk about Daniel Jones?
So Aaron Jones, most hated quarterback, then still Russell, then Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes. Gotta love Danny Dimes.
Oh, my gosh. Just ugly points.
Oh, what a drop.
It's too many ugly points.
Is that Renfro? No hands. No hands from Renfro. All right,
guy.
Josh Jacobs, 3 yards on the first drive. That's what we're
Renfro's
talking
a guy
about.
that's been out on the waivers that, if you want to take a shot.
Bambo, is Tannehill's stock falling or is it safe with A.J. Brown and Julio returning?
Tannehill's stock is plummeting.
Free fall.
Sell.
Absolute free.
It's bad.
We knew he sucked, right?
Oh, my gosh.
For 2 years, we knew he sucked.
This is not my kind of guy.
I took him in one league where my brother's been a big Tannehill guy, and it's worked out for him. Tannehill, before this year, has actually been pretty good for fantasy. And the wheels have fallen off.
Yes.
The new offensive coordinator is not working. He lost his 2 wide receivers.
He's getting sacked 8 times a game.
The offensive line can't block for
I honestly think that's what it comes down to is
nothing.
That offensive line has been brutal. And I don't get it because you run it 30 times a game with Derrick Henry. Like, shouldn't they be worried about Derrick Henry? I guess it's still trying to get into the backfield to get the quarterback or the running back. But again, Derrick Henry seems to find running room and 150 yards rushing, but they can't give Tannehill
I'm considering
2 seconds
just
to throw
dropping
the ball.
Tannehill. I picked up Sam Darnold,
for sure,
and
droppable.
we might just kick him to the curb.
Yeah,
so.
why would you keep him if you can start guys off the waivers like Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold or Tyler Heineke,
Heineke.
or Matt Ryan? Four borderline or on waivers quarterbacks that all had top 10 weeks.
I'm not believing in Matt Ryan just yet.
40 points in our league of our listener league.
He has those sometimes, but then he'll have a down one.
Yeah.
Heineke's interesting if he keeps slinging it to Terry.
I just don't believe I can trust Tyler Heineke to be solid for an entire season.
It's hard to
Streaming,
trust.
maybe.
I might just go full stream and just start in that
Just
league where I took
hard
Tannehill.
streaming, yeah.
I'll just keep going and just finding the matchup and playing whoever.
Gotcha. Their O-line is getting bullied all game because the D-line is trying to get Henry before he can even get the ball. It's working. It's working on trying to get Tannehill down. It's not working on trying to stop Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, you might as well just drop everybody in coverage and try and tackle him after he gets, 5 or 6 yards. Because, I don't know. I saw this video of Derrick Henry at practice. They had 5 guys laid out on mats. Have you seen this video?
No.
They had 5 guys laid out on mats, and he is just stiff arming them as he goes by. These have to be rookie practice squad guys that are just laying on mats getting stiff armed by Derrick Henry in practice. That's all they're doing. They're literally laying on the ground, just being stiff arm targets for him to practice.
So he's standing and running?
He's running. They're laying on the ground.
Up at waist height?
He is stiff arming their
the tops of their heads?
Yes, the helmets as he runs
They
around.
can't
them.
put them on a dummy?
Okay.
They have to use human
people.
This is outrageous.
I'll find the video.
It feels like a viral video setup.
It's not.
I don't know.
I feel shocked.
It sounds like you could probably have better use of those humans.
I'm telling you.
I don't even want to watch it.
All right, here it is. he's just stiff arming people. All right, put it in the chat.
All right.
If you guys want to watch it.
So safe link to just Henry.
I mean, imagine you're this guy on the Titans, right? You're here just to get stiff armed by.
It's almost an honor.
I know.
It's something you can tell
true.
the grandkids about.
Oh my God, it is. It is a treat.
If you love videos like that, you can also join our Discord. We got all kinds of little clips and memes and GIFs.
It's almost criminal, but we only have 19 followers on the Twitter. So
on the Twitter,
go to the Twitter, get us up to 20, make us feel better about ourselves. Duck, exactly. Duck Goose with his teammates.
Well, again, the problem with the Twitter is we're so active in the Discord that a lot of things that some people use Twitter for, we're kind of doing in the Discord.
I posted 3
we're
things
young
on Twitter
people,
today.
right?
So
there you go. All right, we're getting the Twitter going. The more people
We're trying.
it helps encourage us to be active and get it flowing.
We are trying.
Heard about the little Facebook incident here. So I don't know if Facebook's dead or what's happening, but do you have an understanding of this?
Yeah, so essentially somebody went through, deleted a bunch of stuff on the back end, and
like a disgruntled employee, yes?
Maybe.
All right, that's what the story that I got.
Well, there was a whistleblower yesterday.
Okay.
On Facebook, and then this happens today. It was probably not the whistleblower, but it was probably
okay. Maybe I got the stories conflated.
When's the TikTok coming? Exactly.
We're not TikTok guys. We did an Instagram, and even that, I'm like, do we need an Instagram?
TikTok can like do what Facebook did today and just kind of.
Why couldn't it be TikTok?
You can take Juju Smith-Schuster with you as well.
Oh, they already did.
It's pretty easy to grow on TikTok. I just don't know that I can.
Like just talking about football, or are we dancing?
I've seen a couple of fantasy football people on the TikToks.
We're not dancers.
See that
you don't want to see that. You don't want to subscribe to that.
That's pretty much illegal.
We just lost a follower.
I think we did. All right, Herbert.
It's not for me.
3rd and 5 on their own 29 and batted at the line. All right, so we're going to be punting and time for the Raiders to get going.
It a little bit terrifies me that I have 3 daughters in the era of TikTok. I'm hoping it's dead and just not cool by the time they're old.
It'll be so much worse by the time they're older.
I don't want that. I just don't want to have to make them or be a part of it or watch them.
Technology doesn't get less scary. I
mean,
it'll
it'll shift to something I don't understand, right? It won't be. I get TikTok.
It started with Snapchat where you actually had to know people. Now it's TikTok. You don't even have to know the people. I mean, no. And you got to imagine, why do you not catch this ball?
Yeah, felt like you could have fair caught it.
Renfro, not a great start for Renfro tonight.
The flag might be for a late hit on the kicker.
Duder 182. Is that Blink 182? Because I'm into that as well.
Maybe.
No. Miss you.
Could be.
What a great jam. Thank you for the follow.
That's pretty neat.
No foul on the play.
Just another guy that hates TikTok. That's what we
right. We're into this. We hate on TikTok. We get a follow. I'm okay with this transactional thing on Twitch. Social credit scores will be around by then. Everyone has to be nice. Social credit scores. That's an interesting thought.
I don't understand. I don't want it.
Mike is just going to get left behind by technology. He's that grandma that you have that never owned a computer and thinks the internet's the devil.
I'm in the Discord. I'm on the.
That's because it's on your phone. That's not
Twitch.
Well, you can get on your phone.
We're streaming live on Twitch.
That's not the real internet.
The young hip gamers stream.
Yeah, and you have to come here to use my computer.
We're leading the push for the sports talk shows for fantasy.
We're trying
on Twitch.
We're trying.
Climbing the boards. I think we're up to maybe like number 6 on the list if you search it and pops up.
There. We're good.
I don't know. We're trying to overtake the footballers in CBS Sports. We got a ways to go for them, but we're gonna get to number 3.
They got like 30,000.
It's happening.
Yeah,
they've got more than us.
Yeah, we only need to grow by like 100 times.
Give it a couple weeks. Once our TikTok goes live, boom to the
Mike ruled MySpace.
I never had a MySpace. You know what I was?
Mike didn't even have MySpace.
I was an AOL instant messenger guy, so I remember just staying up to the wee hours of the night just chatting.
But at that point, that was the internet. You didn't have to get on the internet to use AOL.
You needed it, but it was yeah, we had that one.
Comment in chat if you ever used dial-up internet.
Oh,
will be surprising because I bet it's very few people.
No, we got some.
It's your dad.
Come on.
It's Greg if he's still in here, and I bet Marcy hasn't even used dial-up internet. ASL, there you go. Banjo's got it.
A young lady. So.
Are you guys gonna do the Thursday night football show this week? Might as well.
Yeah,
might as well.
Anything to get out of the house.
I did, dude. I'm old. Hey,
there you go.
I don't know.
We got a couple.
Alrighty. What
prime.
is the Thursday night football game this week?
That is a great question. Nick's gonna look it up for you. All right, what else we want to rant about?
I think this is the first game that's on Twitch, so we might actually get a little
all right,
boom.
a little bump, a little boost there.
I wish we could show the game on our stream. That would be
Twitch sphere.
That'd be even better. Oh my! Oh
my number 1 Mike Williams fan.
Yes,
goodness. I love it.
Who's the
Great
troll?
Success.
Who's the troll?
This is fun.
Oh, so go out there, and if you can trade for Mike Williams, you go get yourself some Mike Williams.
Yeah, I'm going to get one for show. For show. I'm getting that for show.
Hello, Fantasy Addicts. Hello, number 1 Mike Williams.
Mike
fan.
Williams, great wide receiver or greatest wide receiver? Nick?
Why is this happening?
Everybody loves Mike Williams. It's trending.
The only thing that I'm happy about is they don't have enough channel points to purchase the My Guy No Reply on Mike Williams for you. Week 5 tomorrow or Thursday this week is Jets Falcons.
All right, we got to get the Pitts and Ridley actually breakout game against the Jets.
This is still on NFL Network, and then next week on Amazon. So we got one more week to get through, and then we're back on Twitch. Because I think once it's on Amazon, that's when they're showing it on Twitch as well.
I see.
Oh, no.
Mike?
I shouldn't have said anything.
Mike Williams.
There's a My Guy No Reply for Mike Williams, and you have to talk about him.
All right, so we're going for me for the hype up on Mike Williams. I thought you were going to make Nick do it.
No.
All right, Mike Williams. Again, he's how old is Mike Williams? Is he 26, 27? In his prime as far as age, good height, good size, good weight, good speed. Mike Williams, early in his career, had
6'4" and 27 years old.
Had a 1,000-yard receiving season.
It is Mike Williams' birthday today.
Also, it's so good. It just keeps getting better. Mike Williams, he had a 10-touchdown season. So one of the issues with Mike Williams, he had the aging Rivers, the ghost of Rivers, but now a young stud quarterback. The next big thing, Justin Herbert comes in and is just loves Mike Williams, throwing him touchdowns every game, million targets. His average depth of target has come down, so he doesn't have to just have those boom-bust games. They're using him all over the field. He's getting the touchdowns. Red zone specialist, Mike Williams. The next big thing, greatest wide receiver. Wide receiver 2 coming into this game on the year. So the only guy I would even consider trading Mike Williams away for is Tyreek Hill. So I did that. But if you got Mike Williams, just how smart are you for taking him in like the 11th round? So smart. You are so smart. We are so smart.
My guy should be
Nick is so wrong. He knows nothing.
All right, I know I don't get a reply, but you said Old Man Rivers, and he threw for 4,500 yards, 4,300 yards, and 4,600 yards his last 3 years.
Old,
for the Chargers.
washed.
So,
A disservice to Mike Williams, elite talent.
something a Bears quarterback has never done.
Oh, Rivers can't even hold Mike Williams' helmet. There you go. I hope it was worth
He's out of the NFL. That's why. All right.
He might be standing on the side.
The
just
Raiders,
holding
3rd and 6.
You're welcome.
We'll see if they can get a first down because and that's a fumble. Yeah. Not great.
Oh, Bosa with a knockout.
Great.
So Joey Bosa, people still kind of count as one of the top.
He's getting paid
linemen.
like one of the top linemen.
And I've been underwhelmed. He's had a lot of injuries in his career. How do you feel about Bosa?
I'd have to check his stats. I'm not big on the
I think
IDP
he's
guys.
a little overrated in my opinion.
You're not a big Chargers guy though.
I
feel like you're almost
I like the Chargers
now.
offense. I like Herbert. I like Eckler. I like Mike Williams, unlike some people. Keenan Allen, I'm a fan. Keenan Allen's a guy I was actually kind of targeting, thinking that I thought Mike Williams would be good and usable. I didn't think he'd be as good as he has been.
He split a sack last week, and he had a sack in the first week.
You got to be careful with that.
That's it. I mean,
it's
he's got a total of like 6 tackles. I mean, again, defensive lineman stats aren't going to jump out at you unless they're getting sacks. I really want to know who the number 1 Mike Williams fan is because it's got to be somebody that's already here, right?
Nick loves sacks.
It's got to be.
That's what she said.
Jacobs over under total yards. It was supposed to be, according to Vegas, it was 44.5, and I took the over.
I haven't seen a lot of him popping up.
I need at least 45 yards from Jacobs tonight. I mean, he's got
that's more than 44.
2 carries for 3 yards. I mean, what more could you want?
It's not great, Bob.
He only needs 41 and a half.
What could you need? Yeah, 41 more.
Hey, at least he's in the game.
Oh no!
At least he's in the game.
Josh Jacobs, I tried to warn you. You wouldn't believe me.
Mike, we're
This guy. This is not my kind of guy.
We're 10 minutes into the first. We're 10 minutes into the first
Oh,
quarter.
number 1 AJ Green fan with the follow. Thanks for the follow.
Now
we are climbing the board.
Now we got spoof accounts going. Hello, welcome.
That's all right. Boost those numbers. We're trying to get a second contract from the Twitch Sports Accelerator.
You only
program.
got like 300 more relevant NFL players, and then we'll be
all
set.
right.
We'll be set.
Waiting for the Rojo.
Man, how many burner emails do you
hello,
have to have?
Number 1 AJ Green fan.
These fan. Maybe it's us making the accounts. Nobody knows.
We do it all. We do it all.
All right.
We just pay Marcy to make them. And by pay, I mean just beg her.
So now it says the Raiders punted back to the Chargers. So I guess they're not calling that a fumble, and they're calling it a incompletion.
Very interesting.
Okay, it was recovered by Las Vegas. I thought it was recovered by a Chargers player. It was not.
This ad that's just on Nick's screen while he's checking the football is like this saggy old person arm, and it's like how to tighten loose skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Everybody's into something.
Well, as we become, internet personalities and our faces on, we gotta keep it right, keep it tight.
What the hell is going on? Says Bambo. Just too much.
We got a little off track.
Yeah. They're both on at the same time. Mike Williams is better.
Oh, yeah.
AJ Green had me hype yesterday. Me too. What is going on? What is going on?
I hope these are legit. And we're just so perfectly.
These are twin brothers that just found our
Amazing.
stream and they're split. Okay. Now they're just grinding chat comments.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Oh, conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth.
All right, and we're DMCA.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Just because of that. All right.
Whatever. I do what I want.
Does Austin Eckler come back into this game? That's what we kind of need to know.
Too injured. Let's see. Is that him right there?
I don't.
Could be a quick answer.
So. It looks like Eckler.
Eckler 30.
I think Eckler is 30.
All right, but he is not the man with the carry.
Guyton with a nice
riding with Guyton.
All right, Eckler is number 30.
All right, so he is back in the game, so don't worry about it.
No problem. Is it Mick? And it is not.
Mick and Nick in the morning. That's going to be our new morning.
I'm not above doing that, but it is not us this time around. All right. Well, Eckler owners, you're feeling better now.
Feel better.
I'm facing Eckler. Don't feel as great
Total
about
yards. We have 101 for the Chargers, -5 for the Las Vegas Raiders. But they do get a sack there.
And he rips the ball up.
Just for fun.
He's trying to get a penalty.
the late
he
rip
was
out.
trying to get a penalty.
Yep. I like that. They are overprotective of the quarterbacks, and I get it. They're the faces of the franchises. You want them to stay healthy, but they gotta let them hit them a little bit.
That's the best part, right? The big hits.
I did
big
see.
collisions?
Did you see this one? There was a play in the Cardinals game where Isaiah Simmons made a big play, got called for a roughing the passer with a real just like chintzy, just kind of glancing blow. I think off the face mask, and it went for a pick. The pick got called back because of it. And then did you see the part where the referee went over to him on the side?
I did.
And looked like he was apologizing presumably for that call, which he must have seen a replay, realized it was a bad call. I have never seen that. I think it's interesting. I think it's okay. If I am a fan of the other team, I'm not necessarily mad.
I think what he was doing is, you see refs do this occasionally. I think he was trying to say, this is why I called it. I understand after seeing the review that it was chintzy,
the wrong call.
But from my action, my
angle, yeah,
I had to call it because of these reasons. And hey, to avoid getting this call in the future or the rest of this game, try not to do this certain thing or whatever.
It looked to me like he was like, I'm sorry, I blew it, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, which you don't usually see. I kind of like it, but I get how you don't necessarily want the refs apologizing to every player, every bad call. Keep it, maybe later.
But again, you see it in the NBA as well, where there's a give and take between refs all the time. Hey, watch this guy down low.
There's a hot debate going on. Mike Williams versus AJ Green. I think the rankings of where they are right now in the fantasy points wise, that's the big argument. Mike Williams very much at the top. AJ Green down at the bottom.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
What wide receiver do you think AJ Green is right now?
Oh, let's give him 50.
All right. Well, we can't use it. We got to include.
We got to wait for this game.
We got to include this game. We'll do it on Thursday's show.
Even if you don't, though, Mike Williams is still ahead. Mike Williams has been very good.
No, he's been good for sure. Season total. Ooh, Jakeem Grant is is this a real number?
-5.7 points.
Jakeem Grant has negative 5.7 points.
Well, you probably didn't roll Jakeem Grant out on your team.
No, but he's got 2 fumbles on kickoff returns and no points otherwise.
Not very good.
That's impressive. That is impressive. Remember when Ed Hockley admitted to blowing a call? I don't remember him ever.
Ed Hockley doesn't miss calls.
That's right.
Ed Hockley crushes them with his massive biceps.
Let's see here. I don't know if this includes all the games. It's got to.
So we did bring it up, I think, earlier, but the Manning's not on tonight, and people are upset. And
I'm not happy about it. I'd rather be watching the Mannings for sure. When
did they just get the Monday night deal?
I don't know. All All right, penalty on Vegas, backing up 5, shooting themselves in the foot like the Titans did yesterday.
Yeah, they're going the wrong direction in this game. Not a lot of offensive production.
So is that negative 10 yards of offense now?
Still need about 7 points from Austin Eckler, so let's get that
AJ
going.
Green is wide receiver 26. Wide receiver 26 on the season.
26, outrageous.
Yep, 26. Mike Williams is number 6.
And he's still got the rest of this game to play.
And now he gets sacked. Okay. When do we stop this? Number 1 Cordero Patterson fan. The best RB has arrived. Who are these people?
The fan is the best running back. It's not even Cordero.
Oh, my goodness.
It's probably Mets.
Just thinking about it, it's got to be
the
Mets.
multiple personalities coming out. But the Gronk fan would be the next one.
Right. Oh my goodness! All right, we'll let them discuss it in the chat. We'll give you another 5 minutes of crazy fandom,
and then Marcy's banning you.
Yeah, and then Marcy's banning everybody.
But hey, a follow is a follow.
Yeah, for sure. All right, there it is. Josh Jacobs with the reception. Man, he looks fresh and spry on 2nd and 25.
Needs help up. I think he's injured.
Ban wide. It's just a little too much. Just a little
spamming the
little
chat.
less. I don't know how you're doing the same. There's multiple people in this conspiracy right now. I don't think you can log into 3. I guess if you had an account on your phone and a computer, but still, I'm impressed.
I hope it's been coordinated in the Discord.
Right. I hope it's like 3 or 4 different people.
But also, if we get like 50 more follows, that'd be good. We're trying to catch CBS Sports, man.
New England Patriots getting picked up. Alex Collins, we talked about. Kenny Gainwell. Randall Cobb. You rush out and picking up Randall Cobb?
No,
anymore?
I think it's a bit of a mirage. Interesting, though. Rodgers asked for the guy. He comes back, has this big game. This is the one game he wanted him for.
MVS is out.
Yeah, that helps.
5 catches, 69 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Not bad.
It's
Mets in the future pass. Perfect.
Maybe.
Perfect. Oh, my goodness. It's wild out here. It is wild out here. Who else? Max Williams caught a couple passes for the Cardinals.
Never heard of her.
5 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Let's see, 7 targets, 3 targets, 5 targets.
So this is the tight end for Arizona now that they got rid of Dan Arnold, who went to Jacksonville.
Correct.
A couple little whispers of maybe Dan Arnold being a relevant tight end now. That's interesting. Urban seems to want to use the tight ends.
Where's Josh Jacobs? What do you mean? He just caught a pass. He was right there. The Raiders' offense has not been good. Honestly, the Chargers, besides the first drive, have not been very good.
Here's a guy I want to talk about, Trey Lance. If Trey Lance is out there on the waivers, I am interested. Jimmy Garoppolo goes off with what is being called a calf injury.
I saw there's no guarantee that he misses time now.
So he looked pretty fine on the sideline. The reports that I heard was similar, that like they think he could play next week. From him himself was the only report where I heard him.
I know. Might miss a couple weeks.
Might miss. He might just be done. He's just like, hey, let's just let Trey go. It gives us a better chance.
I know he's better.
Yeah.
Let's just put him in.
Just kind of save some face.
Let's just put him in.
Maybe it's kind of like when you have you're disgraced at your job as a coach in college and you send in your resignation instead of, getting fired. Could be that.
I'll just quit.
But, yeah, I think Trey Lance came in, looked good, looked fast, did a lot of scrambling.
Well, I think he was,
made some good passes.
He was like quarterback 10 and only played a half of football.
Brandon Ayuk, if you tried to roll him out hoping he would be good, he was not. Got like 2 points. Debo Samuel with another monster game. So until Debo gets hurt.
So the 49ers play Arizona next week. If Trey Lance is a starter, are you starting him?
Yeah, I think you can. I think if
even after the Stafford just struggled against the same team?
Yeah. I think it could be a shootout. I don't know if they'll be able to keep up, but just that rushing floor is real nice. I think he came in, halfway through the game and got 22 points.
Yeah, he had 51% snap share, so he came in.
On this scoring format, he had 27 points, and that was with a shortened game. I am very interested in Trey Lance if I could get him. The only worry is that if they come out next week and you got Trey, you traded for him, you're relying on him, and they say, hey, it's Jimmy Garoppolo again. Oh,
then you're not thrilled.
A swift kick in the Garoppolos.
Are you spending like fab dollars on Trey Lance?
Oh, yeah. If Trey Lance is out there, I'd be spending, especially if you needed a quarterback. Like if you have Dak or if you have, another one of those quarterbacks like Lamar, Sam Darnold, I probably wouldn't go out and spend a lot. But if you had Tannehill or you just had to play Sam Darnold, then I would be spending.
CJ Uzama, 5 catches, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns.
It's happening.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Oh, CJ Uzama, my guy from yesteryear, who had the injury.
Be my guy this year.
Hey, I know I'm happy for CJ. Every time he has a good game, I text my buddy NIU to KU, and he's like, "Did you see CJ Uzama's touchdown? It's so good." He wants me to bring back the CJ Uzama hour where I just drone on about why he's going to be good. The same kind of situation that was set up for why I thought CJ could be good. He's the best tight end that they have. He's kind of in that sweet spot age for tight ends. They used him. I think if Higgins comes back, it lowers his ceiling, but if you're just in a desperation mode and there's nobody and you're looking for a tight end, CJ's out there a lot of the time.
CJ Uzama or Juwan Johnson?
I'd play CJ over Juwan. Juwan, I did pick up on the off chance that maybe he did become a thing, and he is not.
Caught a touchdown this week.
Yeah, once in a while I will. I'd rather go with CJ than
Brandon Bolden got, I think, 5 catches, 6 catches, 61 yards.
I am hopeful Ramondre comes in and just becomes the guy who can catch the ball.
Let's see here.
I'm not picking Bolden up.
Latavius Murray, only 54% rostered. Okay.
Dawson?
#1 Dawson Knox fan.
We don't even talk about Dawson Knox.
I know. That's the thing. It's got to be somebody from here. It's got to be.
One of the loyalists.
Man. All right.
Mo Cox. We got the #1 Cox fan. Yeah, that's the next one. We love Mo Cox.
Latavius Murray, 54% owned. I think he had a high snap. Yep, 62% snap share, 18 carries, and a touchdown.
Is this Marcy that ain't the Cox fan, or is this let's see.
This is fun.
Mo Alley Cox, 2 touchdowns, though. And if I think Jack Doyle was actually active and did play in that game, which is interesting.
Latavius Murray, though, 18 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown. He's only 54% owned. There's still a half of leagues where you can go get Latavius Murray.
Yeah, I just think that the ceiling's not real high. They did Le'Veon Bell. He got a couple carries.
He was active.
Game.
I think
Let's see if they ramp him up.
Yeah.
It hurts me to say because I see the potential of the Ravens backfield because of their amount of rushes they want to have. I'm just out on the Ravens backfield, and it's no fun.
I thought you said they weren't giving Mike Williams deep passes where he jumps and gets
himself.
Hurt. Yeah,
and he's broken. Again, any given day, that's been Mike Williams' kryptonite. Is he's had injuries basically the past 3 years at least. Yeah, just.
Do you know who this might be? This might be Jimmy Casket.
I've said before they need to have
Jimmy Casket.
A position that teams should hire is a guy who just teaches NFL players how to fall. The worst faller I've ever seen was Adam Shaheen, the tight end for the Bears. Every time he fell, he would just leave his legs limp, and they would just whip, and his knees would hit together. Like somebody needs to teach him how to bend at the knee and tense his legs a little bit when he falls.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Some of the body mechanics on these guys when they fall could be better. Naji jumping over people with the hurdle in college. Somebody needs to tell him, stop jumping over people with that hurdle move.
You don't have to do that.
Wrecked.
Should we talk about Naji Harris? I've seen him in a lot
Naji
of
had
trades
a good week. Naji's a guy I'd be trying to target. I would love to have him as my running back on my team. He's just getting outrageous workload. He's getting a lot of targets. So the line is bad, but Naji,
I understand that.
A young talent, so hopefully he's durable enough, being a young guy without a lot of miles on him in the NFL.
He's not that young, though. I mean, he's
young for,
He's older than Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's young.
Is he?
Zach Wilson is 4.
Sam Darnold is younger than Joe Burrow. Did you know that?
I don't know where we are.
Did you know that? Are you saying pow?
Are you saying pow?
Yes. Yes, I am. All right, let's look at some big performances this week. I got to change it to not just free agents and everybody. All right, we kind of mentioned it before. Tyreek Hill went nutso.
Monster game. He
11 receptions, 186
waiting
yards.
For me to get him on the team before he could go out.
Nick and Mike's #1
there
fan.
You go.
Hopefully this is the finale of the fandom accounts. Walmart
We've
McDonald.
been looking for you. So this we know it's Marcy, right?
It can't be. Casket is #1 Mixon fan.
There you go.
Was that a horse collar? I think not. It was not a horse collar. I think for a horse collar, you have to pull him down backwards. If you're pulling him down forwards, I don't think it's a horse collar. So you missed it.
Interesting.
Hunter Renfrow on the return got grabbed kind of on the side. And it's fine. It's fine. They let it go. They didn't call anything. Is Debo Samuel legit, and should we be trying to...
So Debo Samuel, a little bit you can put into the Mike Williams category of like a good guy when he's out there as far as fantasy production, but Debo has had a pretty extensive injury history going back to college, going all the way back to high school. So If Debo's healthy, though, and you've got him right now, you're pretty happy rolling him out there. You're one of the few people that's happy of the disappearance of Ayuk.
12 targets, 8 targets, 10 targets, 12 targets.
Solid target
You
numbers.
have to start him.
He's doing stuff with him. He's good after the catch. Debo is one that it'd be interesting to see what you could get for him. I have not made any attempts to acquire Debo because I think that what they're going to want is more than I would ever pay for him. But yeah, if I could trade Debo for Tyreek, if I could trade Debo for Diggs would be an interesting one. I would probably make that move, but I can see how you'd be scared to do it. But
yeah, I like the snap share from Debo.
If Debo's healthy, he's legit.
I think you have to roll him out
His
there.
face almost looks 3D on this. Am I losing it? Have I been streaming too long?
No, they're kind of made to be a little 3D-ish because the background's not in the image.
It's cool.
It's just, yeah.
And haunting.
Mike Williams owns Debo and Julio. Oh, my goodness. Going for it on 4th down. Jacobs
a little bit of a no look from Carr there.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if they give you the replay. Trying to do his best Pat Mahomes impression.
Not great there. So they went for it on 4th down in their own zone? I don't understand.
They got to get something going.
Josh Jacobs, 5 carries, 10 yards, and 1 catch for 3 yards.
Not awesome.
This is going to be, I think, 2 catches now for Zero.
What if it holds again? I panicked on Mixon too early, and then he got a touchdown, and everybody calmed down a little bit.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs, maybe not at full health yet.
DJ Moore, I heard somebody on the Reddit saying DJ Moore and Sam Darnold this year is Josh Allen and Diggs.
It's
I think we had
not
a question
impossible.
Here.
DJ Moore had a great game with a tough cornerback matchup. Sam Darnold looked good. He went into the medical tent for a while. I haven't heard any more about that, but it seems like he was cleared, came back out, and is fine.
Gav, Josh Allen versus Darnold on a week-to-week basis. I think you have to just keep starting Josh Allen.
Yeah, I agree.
Sam Darnold is going to have some nice stream weeks, but if you have an asset like Josh Allen, you keep him and use Darnold on the 1 bye week, and that's about it. All right, number 1 Marcy fan.
Who is it from the
That's going to be
Discord?
the last one. No more after this. Last one. Whoever's making these.
Follows count.
It's illegal. Can't do it. The last one. Marcy, we're banning the rest.
Well, we have somebody that was waiting for Marcy in the Discord trying to.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Casket.
Was it Jimmy Casket?
Jimmy Casket trying to get smooth with
we
Marcy.
We know it's Casket. That's all right.
man.
Marcy takes gentleman callers. She's open, right?
Marcy's timing out. Okay, she timed them all out for 600 seconds. No, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right, a 10-minute ban. That's not the worst.
A slap on the wrist.
It's fine. All right, DJ Moore, 12 targets, 8 catches, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. Your wide receiver number 4. I am buying into DJ Moore.
Yeah, I think you can buy DJ Moore.
If you drafted him, you're super thrilled with how it's been going so far.
I think he's exceeded your expectations if you drafted him, and you hope that he can keep it up. They got Philly, Minnesota, New York Giants.
Is there any
Atlanta.
rush to try and get rid of DJ Moore? Are you trying to sell him?
No, DJ Moore is one I'm not trying to sell. I think I'm believing what I've been seeing. I like the matchups coming up here, and I hold on to DJ and keep rolling him out with confidence.
What about Terry McLaurin?
Terry McLaurin,
I've been 6 catches on 13 targets.
I have been personally worried about him just because I worried about his quarterback situation. I worry about that offense. But Terry, he is kind of like a rich man's Brandon Cooks, where he's just the main guy on his team. They're going to throw it, and they're going to throw it to him. He's a very talented wide receiver who makes catches. And yeah, we got 2 touchdowns in that game.
2 touchdowns, 123 yards.
So that
and
if
6
that
catches.
can hold, then Terry's going to be even more of a monster if he can start getting those touchdowns.
Well, again, I think part of it is too is they needed to score a little bit in this game, so that helps. But they played New Orleans, Kansas City, Green Bay next, and then Denver. So not the easiest slate of games, but
so Walmart McDonald says DJ Moore locked in number 1 wide receiver, no trade, and I'm on board. Yeah, I would hold on to him.
I'm in agreement. Terry McLaurin, you trying to trade Terry? He's number 5 in PPR.
So the guys like Terry, the guys like DJ Moore, you're just not going to be able to trade for because they're not buy lows. Like when you're trading, you want to find a guy who's underachieves. Stephon Diggs is a perfect example. He just hasn't had his monster game like Tyreek did this past week.
Number 1 DJ Moore fan now.
All right.
Not surprising here. Buy low on me. And here comes the ban hammer. Who are these people? Who are you?
Outrageous.
Let's see here. Saquon Barkley. Are you selling high on Saquon Barkley? 13 carries, 52 yards, a touchdown, 5 catches, 74 yards, and another touchdown. Last 2 weeks, 7 targets, then 6 targets.
Nah, I'm just going to be full out on Barkley this year. He had a good game, but those came on a couple big plays, which, again, that happens for guys, and if you're a big play guy that can do that, that's awesome. No, if you're the Barkley owner, if you traded for him, you're very happy with this situation. And again, it came against a tough defense, so
he's your number 8 running back in PPR.
Yeah,
on the season.
Now you're not going to be able to buy him low anymore. I think the buy low window has passed. Now people are going to want Barkley,
But see, and then Walmart says you can't sell high on Saquon. His stock is low. The offense stinks. It won't last.
The offense is bad.
I think there's a disconnect here. If you need running back help and you can get Saquon for a reasonable price, I'm desperately
he's looking
trying to get
healthier. He's the workhorse on that team. They don't have anybody to push him for,
You play Dallas next, and then Carolina, the Rams, Kansas City, and Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah,
so
he's got to be getting near 100%
of
the workload.
Yeah, no, I'm rolling with Saquon. I'd be trying to get Saquon still. Yeah. I wanted to see him get through a few games healthy. He looks fine. Looks electric still. There's Keenan with another reception on.
All right,
offense.
I need more Keenan. I'm still not there on my. I desperately need to win. So
Danny Dimes could keep him rolling. Yes, he could. We're pro Danny Dimes.
I need 6 more points from Keenan. So let's go, Keenan. Half-point PPR.
Derrick Henry, 33 rushing attempts for 157 yards, a touchdown, and 2 catches for 20 yards.
33 is a lot.
Yep. He's your number 1 running back across all formats.
We just think he's going to hold up to the workload. Huh? Maybe he has so far.
Yep. He's
a monster.
He's your number 3 player.
I think Derrick Henry's
the
best running back I've ever seen. He's so good.
He's
a monster. It's unbelievable what he's doing.
So is Waller going to outduel Mike Williams? I don't know if anybody's going to catch a pass in this game for more than 5 yards.
This game might end at 0-7.
This has been a brutal game so far
to watch. And we finally, a lot of these games we've been spoiled. We're getting good matchups. The Monday night game.
I mean, it's close.
The Thursday night games have been compelling, even though the teams haven't been the most exciting. But overall, just a lot of these games that we've had in primetime have had good competitiveness, have been close, have had good storylines.
Next on our list, David Montgomery, 23 rush attempts, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, we talked about the injury.
And a wounded knee. So
if you're a contender, right, and you are already, let's say you're 4-0 after the good performance this week, are you trying to trade for David Montgomery?
You gotta take the 23 points with a grain of salt that it was against Detroit. I think the Bears overall have the number 5 toughest ranked strength of schedule going into this
season.
Who'd
you have right now, CEH or David Montgomery?
I'd rather have David than CEH if I could wait through the injury. So we don't know 100% how long this injury is going to take to recover.
If you're 4-0 and the David Montgomery owner is not, are you trading CEH away to get David Montgomery since you can take a little time to start him?
Yeah, if I have a mid-level running back, if I had a Zach Moss who could fill in the interim or something like that. Cordero Patterson you'd feel happy about. I think I would be trying to buy David Montgomery.
Can they not close the roof? Don't they have the newest, nicest stadium? Jeez.
Everyone has felt the same way that in a dome you should not be delayed for lightning.
I'm sure they have a reason, but I haven't seen the reason yet.
But it's the Chargers, so,
the Chargers going to charge her.
The electricity is just pumping through the building.
It's electric! I didn't realize you were going to give it to us again, but there it was.
Sometimes I give it to you. 1, 2, 3, pow.
Zeke, 20 carries.
Need help calling the right play on game day? Call me at the Gruden Hotline. Gruden Hotline.
Hey, Gruden, dial up some plays.
Yeah.
Nick needs some points.
Zeke, 20 carries, 143 yards, and a touchdown.
20 carries is a
lot.
No
receptions.
Nope. Zeke, you're
feeling pretty good
about Zeke.
Feeling a lot better.
Pollard didn't overtake him and just steal the job.
Number 5 running back in PPR, number 3 running back in standard.
Yep. No, Zeke's looked good.
I tried to tell people.
You did.
Zeke
we'll see if it can last. And they got the Giants next week, so juicy.
We're all eyeballing on PPR waivers this week in Flex.
Some people, Corey Davis is out there. Crowder, again, the Jets, it's hard to trust them, but you
Zeke
might be
or
able to
Saquon, says Bambo.
I'll go Zeke over Saquon personally because I think his offense is a lot better.
I'll take Zeke as well.
The argument for Saquon is that, like, Tony Pollard, people agree at least is talented, has some juice, could push Zeke for touches a little bit. There is nobody. Was it Booker is the next best running back on the Giants, and Booker is not good at football.
Yeah. Walmer says, who are y'all eyeballing? I'm going to list off some names. Just let me know if you're going to pick them up. Khalif Raymond?
No.
Van Jefferson?
Van Jefferson is a little bit interesting. He's had a couple games where he's involved for the Rams. They've been going away from Woods, so his targets haven't been monstrous yet. But Van Jefferson, he was a second-round pick.
Woods is still getting more targets than he is.
I don't hate Van Jefferson. Maybe not this year, but he's a guy that going forward, if I get Van Jefferson in Dynasty, I might actually try and get him a little bit later in the season.
Let's see here. John Ross, not interested in John Ross. Kadarius Toney.
Alex Collins, let's talk about him. If you're desperate for running back, the thing about Alex Collins is I think if we do have an injury to Chris Carson, all of a sudden he's going to be one that's like the hot pickup.
Jamison Crowder, we'd pick up Jamison Crowder for cheap.
Yeah, he got good targets.
AJ Green, again, I don't think AJ Green is going to be consistent, but again, you could do worse. But
all right, Waller gets a catch.
I didn't feel great about rolling AJ Green out there, but I did it anyway.
Hey, it worked out.
Randall Cobb, not interested. I'm trying to see any other wide receivers.
We talked about P. Ryan. P. Ryan's a guy that if Joe Mixon's
he was asking about wide receivers, though.
Oh,
actually, no, never mind. He was just talking about flex. Just talking about flex. If you're talking about flex, Damian Williams, Jamison Crowder,
talk about flex, baby.
Samaje P. Ryan, and that's probably it. Maybe Alex Collins. So that's the three: Williams, Crowder, P. Ryan.
Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things, except AJ Green.
Oh, and we're now at 0 followers.
I'm
they
crushing.
All unfollowed.
That was freestyle.
After that,
you're welcome. You can pick up my rap single.
Was that freestyle? Are you sure
Patreon.
you weren't just singing already made tune?
People are impressed.
Nobody.
We got 8 followers
in the chat. Let us know if you're impressed with Mike's jingle.
I spit hot fire.
AJ Green looks nice this year. Yes, he does. The Arizona offense gobbling up those players. What do you mean he doesn't?
No!
Okay. You can't look at AJ Green and crap on him for his performances this year.
Wrong.
You can't do it.
You are fake news.
I'll do it.
Do it. What's your knock on AJ Green?
AJ Green is old. He's not good.
His performances.
Like him.
What's wrong with his performances on the field?
Too old.
Mike, you're an ageist.
Misses outrageous amounts of games for a tiny ankle injury.
Oh my goodness.
I am an ageist. He's 33.
That's a Bengals thing.
I'm 33.
So is Antonio Brown, but we're rolling Antonio Brown out there.
And I feel old.
So if Henderson goes down, would Jake the Funk Train be considered in a deep league?
No,
I have
it's
Jake
Sony Michelle
Funk
if Darrell
in the
Henderson
league,
goes down.
But yeah, it is Sony. I don't even like Sony if Darrell goes down.
Sony did have a fumble in that last game, but I do like Sony if Darrell Henderson goes down.
Oh, Walmart. Inflammatory over here. He looks better than D-Hop to me, to be honest.
The old man Hopkins also too old.
Hopkins, I mean, he's what, 29? 25?
I think he's 29.
I mean,
it might be closer to 30.
He's still a stud. Man, this game. Corey Davis, 7 targets, 4 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown. That was a really good catch for that touchdown as well.
Yeah, Corey Davis's targets are nice, 7-5, 10-7. So anybody that's kind of getting, around that 8 target mark a game is somebody you can roll out.
Bambo, AJ Green is leading the Cardinals in yards this year. Just the most high-powered offense in the league, their leading receiver
is that accurate?
Is AJ Green.
That can't be right.
Have you seen AJ Green's
I feel like Kyler's thrown for 1,000,000 yards, and they haven't all been to AJ Green. He's just spreading it out.
They have been to AJ Green. Look at this.
Look at this.
Gosh. AJ Green, 44 yards, 112 yards, 67 yards last 3 games.
That one big.
And touchdowns and man, AJ. Go get AJ Green, everybody.
Don't let Nick sell you AJ Green.
This is my favorite stream so far.
This whole thing has just been one long setup so he can sell AJ Green in our Dynasty League to Andrew.
Oh, can you imagine if I traded AJ Green?
I can, and he'll do it. Like,
okay, we got
to
a poll. Impressed with Mike singing. Stick to sound drops. Fergie and Jesus. I gotta click Fergie and Jesus.
Thank you.
Just because. I need to. It's a handicap to try and at least get it to 50-50. Hopkins looks a little slower to me this year. The thing with Hopkins is he's still getting the number 1 coverage from the defense. So
and he's got a rib injury. He's been banged up. That's worth noting.
Hopkins hasn't been great, but here's the thing.
Maybe trade for Hopkins.
The Cardinals haven't needed him.
Debo or
That's
Hopkins
the problem.
rest
They need to get in a tough matchup, and they just haven't yet. Well, those guys are gone, but that debate was not bad. Mike Williams or A.J. Green?
I'm going to take Mike Williams.
I love that you're just asking the question. A.J. Green, because he's the only one that can finish the season.
Wrong.
AJ Green, you're going to bet on finishing the season?
Yeah. Over Mike Williams?
Come
for sure.
on.
Over
AJ Green, get a hangnail, be out for 7
Deontay
years.
Johnson, 13 targets, 9 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. I like Deontay. I don't know why. I've turned into a Deontay Johnson truther.
Targets.
I don't even know how. Maybe it is the targets.
Get 1 million targets.
Yep, that's
PPR,
35 targets.
Roll out Deontay Johnson. Even in not
35.
PPR for 13 targets, you roll him out. And he had a touchdown.
Here's the thing. And the Steelers look bad. I think they're going to be throwing a lot. I mean, not great throws, but throwing.
The throw that he caught the touchdown on was a nice throw from Ben. So he's still got a couple in the
missed him on
the old cannon. He missed Juju on a
That's true.
one
He
that
missed
he
Juju as well. James Robinson, resurging James Robinson.
James Robinson's a running back I would like to have.
18 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jacksonville seems to be almost getting things together a little bit. Mike will be in deep regret if Mike. He's going to get hurt.
Again, the thing about Mike Williams is if he did get hurt, I just traded him away. I don't want him to get hurt. I want him to keep being great so I can keep flaming Nick, but it could happen. He could get hurt. He's gotten hurt a lot. He has a pretty extensive injury history.
Urban Meyer, though. Urban Meyer,
a
little hot water.
James's hottest, biggest fan.
Yeah.
And you know what that girl was saying? She's just whispering in his ear, start James Robinson. You got to play James Robinson.
Start James Robinson.
Play James Robinson.
Play him more. Play him more. Jonathan Taylor, thank goodness. A little bit of a comeback story here. 16 rush attempts, 103 yards, a touchdown, 3 catches. I feel better.
Yeah.
I kind of call this because I shouldn't say I call this, but we saw this coming a little bit with Miami's. Their rushing defense is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. So I'm starting every running back against Miami right now. Only 51% snap share still. Here's the snap percentage. 55, 45, 48, 51. You want more than that from a bell cow back. He could be a top 5 to 7 running back, but not with these rushing
Marlon
attempts.
Mack had like 10 rushing attempts, which is more than you want to see from Marlon Mack. Jonathan Taylor, though, but again, win against Nick, so it beat me in that one, but I needed him in another league where I needed to win more, so I'm okay with Jonathan Taylor. And hopefully he can just keep it going, build on that momentum.
All right, Chargers back on offense. Hey, Mike Williams. He's on the board.
All right.
First catch of the game. No, he missed one earlier. Jacksonville Bars have Urban risking it all. Is that the headline? I feel like that's the headline. If you want COVID, that's how you get COVID, is by going to Urban's bar. Let's see here. James Conner, 18 carries, 50 yards rushing. Not a great yards per carry here, 2.78. But again, I think you mentioned he was running it down at the end of the game.
And it lowers your yards per carry when
they're
that
stacking
end
the
zone's
box.
right there.
He's
just rushing it. Yeah, he might have had 100 yards on that one.
All right, Eckler getting stuck behind the line of scrimmage. That Chargers offensive line not getting it done right now. All right, the vote is in, and it is stick to sound drops. Stick to sound drops.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Unlucky there. 3-1 in my money league. Let's go. I like it. I'm trying to go. This would be my clean sweep. My biggest clean sweep of 5 different leagues.
Yep.
So.
Again, if I get these points out of Keenan, I'll win 4 out of 5 this week. So. Again, it's just to trust the process, stick with it, believe in the guys that, you've done the research and are going to be good.
I don't know if you've seen this trend, but I looked in like all my leagues. Again, maybe it's not that crazy of an acknowledgement, but all the teams that did really well the first 3 weeks, not good this week. Absolutely not good. It's kind of like all the people that bought into who was going to be good last year and chased the points from last year. This is the week they did well. All the bottom half teams are all crushing it.
Long season.
All the teams that are in like first, second, third year leagues this week are losing this week. A lot of them. Kenny Gainwell or Kenyon Drake?
Gainwell.
Kenyon Drake. I'd rather have.
But we have another Miles Sanders like 7 carry game. It was not good. Miles Sanders, you're pretty panicked on right now.
I think that's just the Eagles.
The Eagles have abandoned the run.
Besides Hurts, I guess Devontae Smith had over 100 yards.
117
he had a nice yards,
game.
I think. On a bunch of targets. I think he had 13 targets as well. So, pretty good day. Pretty good day from, I was trying to find the line. pretty good.
Day,
yes. CEH, 14 carries, 102 yards, 2 catches, 12 yards, and a touchdown. You feel better.
Yeah, the one that he had was a little shovel pass, little gimmicky touchdown. He didn't just, run it up the gut like you kind of want to see. The other frightening note or reason for concern is that Williams rushing in a touchdown that they did not go to Clyde with. So
CH only 52% snap share. Does that worry you at all? Here's the first 3 weeks: 72, 65, 62.
Well, they'll run a no back sets a lot of times. So
no CH back sets, but Damian's still in there, or Daryl. Sorry,
they'll run 4 wide and stuff.
He just lowered his shoulder and injured that linebacker Eckler.
There you go.
Eckler
works.
The last 2 plays he got stuck behind the line of scrimmage. Who
is that?
I don't even know. Is this Parham? Nope.
Steve Anderson. Oh,
Mr.
Well, hopefully
Anderson.
he set up the touchdown for Keenan Allen. We're looking for it.
I'm ready for the Keenan Allen touchdown. I'm here for it.
I'm also here for it. Let's have it.
So Naji Harris,
give it to me.
Naji Harris, 15 rush attempts, 62 yards, a touchdown, and 6 catches for 29 yards.
6 catches is pretty good.
How about this? He's your number 3 running back in PPR and number 11 in standard. That's a pretty big discrepancy there.
Yeah, he's caught a lot of balls. That last game, what did he have?
19 targets in the last game is unbelievable.
And he caught 14 of them.
He
for
caught
a running back, that is solid.
And 102 yards.
So scat back Najee. He's got the hands.
Again, if you're trying to replicate a CMC type season, Najee, I feel like is the guy you're looking at. If you're looking for just targets alone, on targets alone. But if you're in Dynasty, are you excited about Naji Harris? Or are you worried about Naji Harris?
And I think your hope is that with Najee that they improve the offensive line next year. If he can get behind an offensive line that can block worth anything. Roethlisberger's out the door. Yeah, no, he's going to be retired next year. And I don't know if they're going to be with Haskins or if they're going to trade for a quarterback. We got the Aaron Rodgers rumors floating around for all these teams. But the Steelers are honestly, if they just got a better quarterback and a couple offensive linemen, are in still compete, now mode.
No, the defense doesn't look great though.
The defense looks good. It's not perfect. It's not what it was last year, but it's still good. It's like a good.
I'm not scared of them at all.
Good pieces.
Let's see here. I want to see how many points they've given up. All right, they gave up 27 to the Packers, 24 to the Bengals, 26 to the Raiders.
The Bengals game is a weird one. I think in the Raiders
the Bills
also,
is 16, but
you don't want to give up 26 to the Raiders, but
no,
they'll get things figured out. They got a good coach. They got good defensive players still.
All right, I don't like that. Pocket Pool likes that.
Some people are rolling out Cook. He hasn't had a touchdown yet this year, has he?
I don't think so.
So there it is.
Don't feel good about it. I think Ty Gurley is sipping on mimosas somewhere in the Caribbean. Yeah. He's probably still fielding calls if somebody was going to call. But, yeah.
That knee must just be more messed up than
the teams must have his medicals, and they all just know.
Yeah, it's got to be
keep on looking.
He had arthritis. He had injuries.
Have you ever seen such a fall from grace, though? I mean, that's a huge drop.
It happens. It happens a lot with running backs. Le'Veon Bell is a good example of he just zoop.
Gurley went from number 1 running back, though, to out of the league in 2 years.
Le'Veon Bell was elite and just the number 1 running back taking all over. And then he went to the Jets, had a bad year, got traded away, and now is barely made the desperation Ravens team.
Keenan was there.
Yeah. And we need some more Keenan.
Tight ends only. All right, I gotta check my league. I gotta see
how close in trouble. This matchup is. Garbage time is always there for you. So maybe we get. But we need the Raiders to get their offense going a little bit so that I can get some of those garbage points.
Oh, I love trash.
All right, so I am down 3 points.
Oh, to Pocket?
To Pocket.
It was undefeated in the Listener League, correct?
I'm trying to take him down.
All right, we're rooting.
We got to root for Jacobs then.
No, never mind. Pocket all the way.
He's got Eckler and Cook, and I've got Jacobs, and he's up 3 points. I don't like my new odds.
So we buried the lead. Have we not talked about the Tom Brady win over the at Foxborough over the Patriots enough?
The game wasn't that good enough.
It was compelling.
Was it?
I like the drama of it, man. I think that just that kick, it bouncing off the post, it gave me flashbacks to the double doink. So now the Patriots fans,
I thought
Bears
the kick
fans,
was it. I thought it was.
It looked good. It had the distance, and you just donk. But no, a good game. I enjoyed watching it. I think it's if you can count a moral victory, the Patriots, they played hard. Everybody thought they were going to get murdered. They were right there. They were in it. They were that close to winning the game. Mac Jones, a big game for him. I think that short of a win, about the best case scenario for him. They just held it in there with the legend. Like a lot of people talked about how Tom felt, but can you imagine being Mac Jones? You're like, you don't even know if the fans are going to be on your side. They're going to be booing you. Your fans booing you. And rooting for Tom, and he came out there, and I think probably won a lot of fans and a lot of respect from a lot of different places. So Mac Jones won me over a little bit in that one.
He looked good for sure. McCorkle had 31 of 40, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. So pretty good day. Pretty good day. How about this? The New England rushing, -1 yards total rushing.
Yeah, that's devastating. So sit your running backs against Tampa Bay.
I didn't even realize this. How do you have -1 yards rushing?
It was not good.
In a game where it's raining. It is raining, so you'd think they'd be rushing it more.
No, they did a lot of kind of intermediate passing.
Not. They built it up perfectly on the broadcast. They cheered for Tom on TD passes. I think we have a resident Patriots fan, and I think he was cheering on the Patriots too, but I think he was rooting for the field goal to go in, but he also was okay with Tom getting that dub.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers kind of needed that to get right because
they just had one loss. It wouldn't have been the end. It would have put him in a more panicked spot, but long season. Tom has a history of kind of
word on the
not
street
panicking.
was that Tom and Belichick had a secret meeting after the game. Did you hear this?
To come back or what?
What?
To come back and be the quarterback?
I don't think it was that.
Just to shake hands?
I don't think it was that.
I didn't even see on the broadcast if they shook hands on field after.
Yeah, no, there's a head-to-head that they have where they're embracing a little bit.
Well, yeah. I'm here for it.
I don't think there's any bad blood there. I think Tom Brady was just like, hey.
It's hard to be mad.
You're not good enough.
It's hard to be mad if you're either of those guys. It's like, well, we did win 6 championships together.
Yeah. No, you can't be upset.
No,
we had our time. We did well.
It went pretty good for us.
Yep. All right. Still running with Josh Jacobs, which is smart.
Maybe.
There you go. Grinding it out.
Down 14.
They're still tight for life.
BFFs. Go out on Bill's boat.
It's probably a nice boat.
They're both dodging Gruden's calls. Hey guys, you want to go out on the boat?
Justin Jefferson this week, kind of getting right.
Nice game for Justin.
Yep. So. I can't find my stats anymore.
Help me beat out Bam in the listener league.
Holy moly, my PC is lagging.
Didn't even take into consideration, but 90% of the fans in the stadium are Raiders, and it's a Chargers home game. Chargers fans don't exist. Really, just all the LA sports fans. I don't know that the people that are.
I think the same thing happens with the Dodgers. If the Dodgers are playing bad baseball, nobody goes to Dodgers games.
Nobody went to the Miami Heat or the Heat game.
They get a new franchise every 5 to 10 years.
The coast, there's other stuff to do, right?
Sure. But they'll go to the games if there's good teams. I just don't think the Chargers have put themselves in the good team echelon yet.
2-1. They got Herbert, a young quarterback.
Yeah, but 3
Mike
games,
Williams, sensational wide receiver.
3 games does not make a good receiver or a good team. 6 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown for Jefferson. So definitely feel a little bit better. Last week getting over 100 was a big mark, but 3 games in a row now with touchdowns. So
Justin Jefferson's good.
Starting a good trend. I was a little worried after week 1, but I'm feeling better. What about CeeDee Lamb?
CeeDee Lamb, he disappeared. I needed him. It's going to cost. It cost me against Nick. If I could have just got a little bit more out of CeeDee, would I lose by 10 points?
You lost by 10.
Yeah, they just went to other guys.
You lost because of CeeDee Lamb. You lost because of Calvin Ridley.
No, it was large. CeeDee Lamb's the one that I need. I expected it from.
George Kittle. Are we worried about George Kittle?
That'll probably be the worst game that CeeDee has on the year. But Kittle, he was another one.
11 targets.
Kittle had the touchdown in his hands. I'm not sure it would have given me enough, but they threw it to him at the end of the game in his hands. Got knocked out by the DB. Real close. So Kittle, I'm still just rolling out. I still have confidence in him. There was some concern about whether he was going to play or not. He looked healthy enough. So Kittle, I think you got to keep going with. Hasn't been what you hoped he'd be yet.
Did you see the center for the Raiders just completely let the guy right by him to tackle? Watch it. He just goes right through the middle.
So he's peeling off, trying to get to the second level, block the linebacker.
98. But he shouldn't be trying to do that when the run's going left.
Well, it depends on if the backers were shooting or not. They didn't shoot that hard, but
no. 11 targets, 4 catches is kind of interesting for Kittle. He's in standard. He's your number 14 tight end.
That's not what you wanted when you drafted him.
No touchdowns.
Could use some more. So close.
Are you trading for him?
Yeah. I'm not trading the world for him, but I would still trade for Kelsey and hope that it gets right.
Raiders center has been gassed for a while. I've seen him huffing and puffing, all red faced. Yeah, I don't know. Again, if you know the play, all you have to do is stand there. They freaking double teamed him, and they still couldn't stop him. They just let him run right to the side where Jacobs was going. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
He's big. He's a big guy.
What about the other guy? And then the other guy. Let's see. What are some other poor performances this week where we're worried? Chris Carson, 13 carries, 30 yards, and a catch.
Oof, yeah, that was a down game for Chris.
Devontae Adams, 6 catches
Will
for 64
Fuller
yards.
doing Will Fuller things, and he is out with, I think it's a broken finger. So Will sticking to his routine.
Marvin Jones, you mentioned earlier. You're still in on Marvin.
We mentioned him, but Travis Kelce with a rare down game. Not worried about it. Rolling out Kelce all day, every day, everywhere I can get him.
Yep. DK got the touchdown, but 4 for 65. I mean, you're hoping for more usage for where you had to take him.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right. Runner short.
Right, so
Cordero, we told a lot of people to start Cordero this week. 3 catches on 8 targets for 47 yards, and one of them was a 32-yard reception in the last couple minutes of the game.
I don't know. I don't know about Cordero. Maybe.
I don't know.
You could do worse.
I don't know if you can start
If
him.
you've got him, you probably got him for very cheap or picked him up off waivers, and you feel very smart.
I know you're fading Robert Woods, but
yeah.
six targets again.
6 targets
4 for 48
is not
and a
enough.
touchdown.
6 targets is not enough for Robert Woods the way that Robert Woods plays to be good. He got a touchdown. You lucked out. If you can trade him away. Him and AJ. So here are guys that you can't drop because of their name, but if they weren't who they are, if they had a different name, if they're a guy you didn't know, you could drop. Robert Woods, Allen Robinson. I had one more on my list when I was thinking about him earlier that's escaped.
You can't drop him because of the potential. I mean, it's not the name.
Oh, man, but the potential.
Why are we fading Allen Robinson? I understand
because he got 3 targets. Because he's not getting targets.
But Allen Robinson is good at catching the football. He has one of the best.
Not throwing it to him.
He's one of the best. Again, we're only 4 weeks into the season.
But 4 weeks is enough where now it's a pattern.
It's
4 weeks it's a trend.
What do you mean it's a pattern?
That's enough of a sample size to be okay, now I'm concerned.
We've had 2 different quarterbacks starting. I mean,
you have 2 games, it's nothing.
We've had 2 different people calling plays. I mean, how do you consider it a trend?
If you have 2 games in a row where something happens, it's nothing. If you have 3, you start to worry. If there's 4 games in a row and it's happened, that's enough that you're all right. Now I'm hitting the panic.
Allen Robinson, I think, will still finish in the top 24 wide receivers.
No chance. Not with the start he's had.
You heard it here now.
It's not going to be good.
DK buy low. I think you could maybe try and buy DK low.
I'd be buying DK.
Yeah.
We talked about how they have a tougher string of schedule.
I don't trust Lockett. That's the thing.
It's interesting. I don't know. I didn't see a lot of Lockett's plays, but how injured he looked. I know that he had an injury where, like I said, the whole team was on the field like he had died. They all had their helmets off. They were taking a knee. People were crying. It was awful. But then he came back into the game and he apparently just banged his knee. So
Ronald Moore droppable?
Yeah, you could, but also he's a guy that if he's on the waivers might be one of the guys you just want to throw on there and hope that he can break out. How many targets do you have in that game? I know you just had
3.
3 targets. That concerns you. So he had,
I mean, he only had 1 week where he got more than 5 targets.
Yeah, I could see dropping him if you need to make room for somebody. But I could also see you holding him. He's a rookie. Some of these rookies I'll give more leeway. I'll hold a little bit longer because it usually does take those rookies longer to establish themselves.
If I can try and trade Robbie Anderson on his 11 targets, I would. Otherwise, just straight drop Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, and the reason that Robbie's targets were up is, again, Christian McCaffrey's out. People, I heard some analysis where just when Christian McCaffrey was out last year, that's when Robbie kind of had his best game. So I agree. I think that if I could get rid of Robbie, I'd be looking to move him. You just can't start him with confidence.
No. Logan Thomas injured, probably out. Darnell Mooney, are you trying to move Mooney? I'm actually trying to get rid of Mooney.
Mooney might be a guy that you could pick up off the waivers. If he's on waivers, are you picking up Mooney?
And then trade him.
I get it.
I'm not. I would pick up Mooney if he's on waivers, but I don't want Mooney on my team. Are you all Bears fans? Unfortunately.
Oh, no, we just got to win. They've just beat the Lions. Everything's back on track.
Nobody celebrates beating the Lions.
Everybody celebrates. No. That's the best to beat the Lions.
The Bears suck. They'll finish under 500. I just hope Fields looks confident.
Bears.
And I hope they hire a decent
Cohen
coach.
sucked.
And I actually hope Ryan Pace is still the GM next year.
They just fire Nagy halfway through the season. Laser takes over. They win a playoff game. And
Miles Sanders, 7 carries, 13 yards, 3 catches, 34. Mike is a very biased Bears fan. I'm a more pessimistic and more how the Bears actually are. What y'all's problem up there is the owner senile?
The McCaskies, the family that have owned the team for a million years. People have been telling them to sell the team for 1,000 years. They're not going to, but there's not much you can do about that.
The thing about Ryan Pace is he shoots his shot and he misses sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'd rather a GM that shoots a shot and takes risks than somebody that's just vanilla.
I agree.
Matt Nagy.
I don't hate Pace. I think
Pace and Nagy are a tandem, though. If one goes, they both go.
Here's what saved Ryan Pace is getting Fields.
Oh,
and
for sure.
If they had started the season with Andy Dalton and only Andy Dalton, and they hadn't just fallen
they're both
ass
for
backwards,
sure fired.
just lucked into having a quarterback fall to them and making that trade, I agree. I think then everybody is just rioting in Chicago right now. But they got Justin Fields, and I think it saves Pace's job. That's how being a GM is sometimes. You missed on Trubisky, could have cost you your job. You lucked into Fields. Sometimes just the luck of the draw on some of those high-level quarterbacks can be make or break for a
I'm
GM.
not saying, I'm just saying, but before...
He's been good drafting defensive players, bad on offense.
But before Walmart got here, we had a lot of those weird accounts, and now those weird accounts are gone, and guess who's here? Walmart.
Oh. Walmart McDonald's.
Have we learned something?
Hey.
If Justin Jackson get a touchdown, I can possibly win in best ball. Maybe. Eckler is killing me right now, so...
Yeah, I need more Keenan Allen. Let's start to Keenan Allen.
I agree. I agree with Mike for once. Tyler Lockett, 4 catches, 4 yards, not enough. Kareem Hunt gets it done again, 14 carries, 69 yards, a touchdown with 2 catches. Man, Kareem Hunt, he's up there. He is up there. He is your, how about this? Kareem Hunt in standard is your running back 5, and in PPR he's your running back 7.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people have been asking, Kareem Hunt or this guy, Kareem Hunt or this guy. Do I trade Kareem Hunt? Kareem Hunt has been great.
With their new way of using Nick Chubb, I'm down on Nick Chubb now.
Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb?
That's honestly,
you have to keep Chubb, but the question is, if you actually look at their numbers, if you just covered up their names and you were just like, hey, which of these two guys do you want? Going from what we've seen so far, you want Kareem Hunt, but hopefully they're just saving up Chubb. They haven't needed to use him up. They want to keep him for actually making a playoff push. So I get what they're doing football wise. But it's hurting you for fantasy if you went and you got Chubb.
Naeem Hines, 2 carries, 6 yards, 2 catches for 5 yards and a fumble. He got you 0.05 points.
Yeah, no, Naeem Hines, how do you say his first name?
I don't.
Okay.
Nathan.
N. Hines. Yeah, man, I don't know. He's a guy that's kind of like a desperation start in PPR leagues. If you're just desperate, you need a guy to plug in. He's a guy that once in a while, he can get 6 receptions, he can get a touchdown here and there, maybe break a big play, but he's not a guy I'm ever trying to start. I'm usually just desperation mode, break glass, and Yemi Hines.
We're going to sign off here, I think, at halftime. If you have any last-minute questions or start-sit questions or whatever else you got, let us know.
The Parham, who is the tight end, not the rookie wide receiver.
Correct. No, that's the wide receiver.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
get
cool
the questions
Predator mask in the
it was nice. All painted up.
I liked it.
Antonio Gibson.
Trying to outrageous the Raiders.
Another nice day. 14 carries, 63 yards, a touchdown with 2 catches. Again, not fully utilized.
The touchdown saved the day. If he didn't have the touchdown,
look at the snap percentage, though. 65, 61, 57, 55.
Yeah, he's been banged up. He had the shin issue, so maybe that affected his snap percentage.
Not a trend I love.
I think that you can. He's a guy that if you're looking for running back, I think you can still buy because there are some concerns. But I think that if he can get healthy, I like him as a prospect going forward. I think you can
want
do
to hit us with those? She knew.
Oh, she's so good. Marcy, you're the best. Nick, we're going to look for a stream to raid, so please hang out for the raid. All of you number 1 fans, if you want to jump in there and just let them know the Fantasy Addicts sent you. I forgot I was rocking the G.I. Joe shirt tonight. All right, got to get tough. Go, Joe.
How about Kenny Galladay?
Kenny Galladay had a nice
6
game.
catches, 116 yards.
While Darius Slayton and Sterling Shepard are out, then all of a sudden, guys like Kadarius Toney and Kenny Galladay get a bump. And Are you picking up Kadarius? I know it's been a rocky start, but he was a number 1 draft pick for that team. I think the 20th pick overall. Got some juice, looked good in that game. I think that...
And there goes my week.
There goes Eckler with the touchdown. Oh, devastating. Didn't need that. Need the Raiders to do something, so they got to throw it to Keenan.
Raiders haven't done anything in this game.
But yeah, I think that...
done anything.
What was I even saying? Kadarius Toney. If you need a wide receiver, desperation pickup, somebody was asking about earlier, I think Kadarius Toney's a nice pickup, especially while Slayton and Sterling are out.
I disagree.
And Sterling tends to miss a lot of time when he gets hurt.
Dallas Goedert, 5 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
If you've got Goddard, you've probably been playing him.
Number 6 tight end in standard, number 9 at PPR. Wild.
Zach Ertz had an okay game as well. If you're desperate for tight end, you could always start Ertz.
One of my favorite performances this week is actually Darrell Henderson.
Really?
14 carries, 89 yards, 5 catches, 27 yards. And what I liked about it is he missed a week, and they went back to him and gave him the full workload. 90% of snaps. That's what I wanted to see. I'm putting Darrell up there a little bit. I think he's probably top 15, if not top 12.
If he can stay healthy. Well, you could probably get Darrell and Sonny for pretty cheap.
Yeah. All right, and Cole Beasley, 2 for 16. Cole, back out. Not good. Zach Moss, 12 points, 14 carries, 61 yards, a touchdown.
Yeah, he and Singletary both had an okay game. If you start them, you're probably fine.
Ayuk, 1 for
full
15.
Panic. Ayuk relegated to the bench. Maybe you drop. Maybe you try to trade on the name. But
yeah,
Ayuk, it's not been good for Ayuk. It's a problem.
It's bad. Jalen Waddle had three catches on the first drive for 33 yards and
then
nothing else.
All right.
Devonta Smith, 7 for 11 for 122 yards. I like to see that. Terrace Marshall, 1 catch. Not super surprising, but not great either. 19 carries for 89 yards. Trey Sermon, better.
Yeah.
Still only 50% of snaps, but
not good enough to hold off Elijah Mitchell.
4.7 yards per carry is definitely in the right.
I'd probably be. You might want to. A guy you might be able to buy low and hit gold on him with the running backs is if you could get Elijah Mitchell and he can establish himself and be good.
Here we go again.
It's a little bit of a long shot, but again, if you're looking for if you're just searching in the dark for a guy that could turn into something that helps you actually win, Elijah Mitchell is still a guy that I'm holding and hoping can become a thing.
Raiders will mount a comeback in the second half, says Bear Fan Paul.
Maybe.
I'm actually in agreement. I think that's
Brian Edwards time? The hero?
Actually, I mean, whenever they need a big catch, they do go to Brian. They do go to Brian.
When the game is on the line.
They tried to go to Brian right there with 20 seconds left.
Brian Edwards, not today.
All right. Cheers. Thanks, Nostalgic. Have a good one.
Yep. Thanks for joining us.
See you, Marcy. We'll be in the Discord if you guys want to chat, hang out.
And I think we're going to try to do the Thursday game, so we'll see you there.
I think so.
Job's done.
Well, we got to do it so at least you're entertained for how bad the Thursday night game is going to be.
There you go.
Who was it again?
Don't even remember.
I think it was like Falcons, Jets or something.
Oof. It was the Falcons.
Thursday night football. Hey, at least we can get a good look at Zach Wilson maybe. Oh, man, that was going to be the touchdown for Jacobs right there.
If you look at Zach Wilson too long, they put you on a list.
Is that true?
Because he's such a young boy.
Let's see here. Is this right? Rams, Seahawks? That can't be right.
What happened?
I think it is. And I was wrong. Rams, Seahawks.
That's a much better game.
I missed the game because I was looking at remaining schedule instead of the top. So Thursday,
we'll do it live.
It is going to be on Twitch, and it's Rams, Seahawks, and it's going to be a good one. So we'll be here.
Marcy says Falcons, Jets.
I'm confused.
What is happening?
I'm confused.
Let's just escape.
No, it is. It's the 7th. It is Rams, Seahawks. The next one is Jets, Falcons. That's the following. That's Sunday's game. We're
on to Cincinnati.
We're fine. We're doing it. Rams, Seahawks, Thursday night. We'll see you there. Let me see if this chat is still here. All right. We're going to raid and enjoy. Go over to Roshocker. Have a good time. He's a good dude. Hang out.
Job's
follow.
done.
We'll see you next time around. All righty.